Nothing about jamming.
We tried to say the shit that we had planned to say, where we were just like, it's our first time.
We'll go where
Where's
you want.
pack it up? Oh, since you over there.
Bro,
You ever play World War Z, dude?
Hell or high water. It's the only one. Nah, man. Like I've always wanted to just fucking. I told you, I just want to have a jam session, even if don't even know how to play an instrument. I just want someone to not judge me for playing something badly, not offbeat. Like it always feels bad because like I'll mess with something and be like, man, that's really offbeat. I'll just be like, huh, okay. You know, it's like
Who the fuck told you
let me
something's
fucking
offbeat?
play with it, bitch. You know, fuck you. Like
That's so weird.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
How can you tell me someone's offbeat? Or that I'm the one playing the
like
beat?
you got like no rhythm or something, which I know I don't got any rhythm, but let me fuck with this instrument, bro.
No,
Like,
but that's
fuck
not how
you.
it works, bro. There's
Like,
no
fuck you.
there's no laws of music. You
Bro,
can't put laws on
that's
music,
why,
bro.
That's why I hate when people like would talk about like making music. They'll just be like, "Oh yeah, you know, it's like, you know, according to music theory." I'm like, "What the fuck is music theory?"
Right.
You're telling me there's some concrete, specific way you're supposed to play music?
Right. No, okay. Listen, first of all, I get that. That does make sense to me. Like, it does make sense that, like, eventually you try to brew it down to the science of these different rhythms and you try to match them, and you do have to have some type of language. So you do have, like, C note, B note. I get that. But you can't tell someone you're playing off rhythm. You can say you play on rhythm, but you can't tell on your rhythm. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
If I play something, how are you gonna tell me it's offbeat if it's what I played, bro? You know, there's no law to music. You did, bro. You can't even guarantee that you heard the same thing I heard. How do you know you heard what I heard?
But like,
You're just assuming it.
well, I mean, the one thing I hate is that like people will think like you have to listen to music, like or like you know follow music theory to create music. You know what I'm saying? Like it's some type of necessary thing where like I mean, like music theory is the reason like I forgot what it's called. I think it's called like the golden chord or something. But it's like the three like specific notes that are like it's like a BPM or like specific notes that are used in like most of today's pop music.
Mhm.
I'm like music theory is how you get that type of thing. You try to find the scientific way that like you can arrange sound so that
Right.
it best hits the human ear, the most human
Yeah.
ears. You know
Just
what I'm
like you
saying?
do with food and a taste bud. It's the same thing.
Yeah, but even that, I mean, yeah, I get you.
It's the
You know what I'm
same
saying?
thing, bro.
I get you, man.
You're just trying to do it to where it's like you're manipulating how we hear or how we taste or how we see. You know,
I
that's
just
what it is.
don't like it that there's a thing out there where it's like, oh, this is the way music has to be composed, you know, or should be composed, you know, for it to be like, correct in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like there's an incorrect way to do music. You know,
Yeah.
like I mean, like the only correct measurement for music that most people use would be success, and that's not necessarily a marker for good music or you know whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the marker for that type of thing. Like you need to have success for it to actually mean something, and for that it has to sell. So I guess music theory could help you sell to you know and to the masses. But I mean, it's
Right.
like
But then you see G Herbo be a millionaire, and he's not on any musical rhythm or note or anything.
yeah, very
He's
true.
he's actually purposely going off of that,
Yeah,
and that's
very
his
true.
little niche,
Very
as we
true.
say,
Very
right?
true. Yeah, that is very true. I never thought about that. You know,
So it's
but
like everybody has a tape. It all goes back, bro. You always got to. I'm telling you, man. Best I ever heard of was Jimi Hendrix, man. They say other people have said it. I heard it from Jimmy. Was the quote? He said, "When you got to look at music like colors, you know." And it's like all I'm doing basically is like I'm seeing a color. Your people are colorblind. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
So you couldn't even see what I see if you were colorblind. You know, and there's some people that don't see green how they see red. They don't see blue how they see purple.
what up, Amy?
We all see. Amy, glad to be back. Feels good to be back.
Yeah, I tried to bring it over, but she got me another little thing. It's just a little shit show coaster. It's just cool as shit.
Oh, that is
Yeah, it's
cool.
cool as fuck. I gotta bring it and set it up here now. You know, but yeah, you know, it's like it's just like you know to the original point. We're just like if you see someone playing off beat, just shut the fuck up. You know, you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm sorry, it doesn't come to your fucking standards, but it's not what I'm fucking playing it for. You know what I'm saying? Like I just let me fuck around on a piano. Don't make me feel like a piece of shit for it.
I hear screaming, screamo.
Yeah.
I want to turn it off. People
Yeah.
hear screamo, they want to go to the concert.
Yeah.
We all hear things differently, you know?
See, and that's the funny thing is like for me, like it was never. I think most people feel the same way. It's never. I mean, that's for me. Like it was never like the screaming part was like the least appealing part of it to me. You know what I'm saying? I just like sick ass guitar and drum beats and shit. You know what I'm saying? Especially when breakdowns happen, they really drop that shit. Like I just like that. I feel the energy behind it. But like I'm not sitting here like I will sing a chorus, but I won't just be sitting here like enjoying like the screaming. You know what I'm saying? I just enjoy
Well, that's why they're
the sound
screaming,
of the
right?
song.
Because that's the audio that matches the breakdowns they're doing and shit. It's heavy metal, right? So it's
Yeah,
like
and it's funny
it
'cause
enhances it because it's kind of like this power rage
and,
thing.
I put a lot of thought into it because I remember I was watching Rage Against the Machine play live. I was watching a couple of their videos, and like their music isn't anything like deep or really intricate,
Mhm.
but it's very anti-establishment, anti-government anarchy type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And then I was thinking about like the heavy metal scene and like kind of like how that would have came. And then I think about like like how shit moved into more like a more corporatized, you know, type of direction. And then you can kind of see that similar like I don't know, I guess angst would be the word. That similar angst, like that was like the kind of like the starting off point, like doing like the hippie movement and shit like that. That's kind of like where all that shit came from, man. We're just like they people just really just enjoyed anti-capitalism and anti-establishment music. It's weird.
I think like compared to a lot of the rock music though, like Rage Against the Machine is probably one of the deeper ones in my opinion.
But like when you listen to their lyrics, like they're not making like these crazy like analogies. So like it's not deep on the surface, is what I'm saying. Like their lyrics aren't really like they're not like crazy lyrical. To be deep. You know,
Yeah, especially not in rock
it's very
though.
it was I wouldn't say simple, but it was very simplistic and straightforward. And but I mean everyone loves their music for a reason because it's not about just the lyrics, it's the sound, it's
I
their
think that
presentation.
I think it's both. It's the match. It's the match they did. They found a great match. That was kind of what Rage Against did. They found a great match of the lyrics I'm gonna give you. I'm not going over the top, but I'm giving you something, and then I'm matching it with this guitar and this drum to
It
keep you high.
just
That it
it
all. The perfect thing to them to me is going back to that video where they're performing in front of them 100,000 people, and they're just like, "You like to do what you're told, don't you?" They just
yeah,
got it
yeah.
perfect. They got it. They
Yeah,
got that right there,
and that's what I'm saying,
perfect.
and that's what I'm saying. That it's that messaging of like the anti-establishment, like with the whole screaming thing, like that type of screamo music. Like I think people are drawn to it not because they like the screaming aspect, but because it's counterculture. You know what I'm saying? Pop music.
Hmm.
The counterculture to that would be in essence that heavy metal shit. You know what I'm saying? Where like it doesn't follow any of the rules of like pop or nothing. And they're not singing, but there's some singing in them. It's like it's the counterculture, man. And that's kind of like where it was like built off of.
What do you think comes with what do you like the mosh pits?
I think
Well, I think that gets
I,
in there.
I think people just I think it's in people like it because you don't do that every day. It's that outlet of rough housing. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is, bro. And people don't do that all the time. But so when they're in that
You're
moment,
not supposed to go as crazy as some of them videos they do though, right?
yeah, oh yeah,
Or
some
like
people,
their head kicking
yeah, and
chicks.
that's like people
Remember, you know
taking it
that
next
one
level.
black dude that like head kicks two
Yeah,
chicks, bro?
yeah, like spinning back heel, like,
So funny. It's so funny, and they
uh huh.
move,
And
and
he's just like, like, it's just- but I mean, that's what they do in the scene, bro. I mean, like, and I think it gets people's adrenaline going, and they, it's just from there,
I did not pay $80 to get beat up.
Amateur fighters is just chilling around, just like,
Hell yeah, it's some guy. Yeah,
what do you
say
think?
who? Somebody bump me. Bump me.
But I mean, yeah, people, it's the adrenaline rush, really, and like, I mean, how people kind of like wrestle in roughhouse when you're out in that mosh pit. Like, I don't enjoy it, but I see why people enjoy it.
I get it when it's what it's like supposed to be, but like once people start getting all that violent, it becomes like this pissing contest. I'm like, I'm gonna shove you as hard as I can. I'm gonna kick you. Like, what the fuck? We're throwing kicks, dude.
And that's where you're
We're
getting
throwing spinning shit, dude.
that's where you're getting a mixture of like people taking it too far and like what it's actually supposed to be. What I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Like it's not supposed to go that far, but like people are just like, oh, if you don't get fucking wrecked in the mosh pit, are you even at the concert? It's like there's
Yeah.
those types of people. You know what I'm
So,
saying?
Steve got a black eye.
If you're at a rave and you're not riding that front row headbanging, you're not really at a rave. That's just like, shut up, guy. Let me enjoy the rave and the music how I want to enjoy it. Like, that's what I remember. I saw a meme a while ago where it was like, I didn't know liking things was so stressful. Where the people were just like, oh, you like Spider-Man, but you like that new shit. You remember first edition? It's like can I like something without being stressful with shit?
That's why I love that J. Cole lyric. If they don't know your dreams, then they can't shoot them down. You know what I mean? Sometimes you like can't even tell people what you believe, man. Sometimes because they're just waiting to find something.
Waiting to find something.
Like a lot of people that like politics, for instance. Like you could meet up with somebody. You meet him at the club. You're just like, oh, bro, you met up with this guy. He brought you around. You brought him around. It was a good ass time. Y'all danced. Y'all might have got 2 bitches, went back to y'all house, cracked shorties, had a good ass night. Next weekend, you're out there, and it's like you're sitting there, and something about Trump's on TV, and he's just like, love that guy. It's just like.
I think the best scene that kind of like really portrays that well is the scene from Good Will Hunting where they're in the bar. And that one dude's just talking to Ben Affleck's talking to those 2 chicks, and then that one guy comes up. He's just like, "Oh, I'm just wondering about your thoughts on the contemporary economies of the 1770s." Like, dude, what's your problem? You want to step outside? And then the Matt Damon comes over, and he just gives him his whole spiel. And then the other guy's about to retort. He's like, "Yeah, you got that from Jameson, published in '92. Blah blah blah. I read that too. You can give us your own thoughts." It's like, it's like how much is really regurgitation? Before it really is like knowledge of material. And I think what gets a lot of people is they know the material, and they read the material, but like their knowledge on the subject goes nothing beyond that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like that guy that Joe Rogan had on the podcast with Graham Hancock, and he's telling you all this shit about psychedelics, and he's like, I've never done them.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, that's the first thing you do. I mean, now it's kind of weird that you're even interested and you've never done them.
Yeah.
Now it's like, what? People just hyped you?
Yeah.
You don't even know if it's good. How do you know unless, you know what I mean? Unless you try.
Well, that's one thing. It's like, I think you can be interested in it without having actually tried it. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, like,
but he's pretending to be like this expert on this type of knowledge, and it's like you don't want a heart surgeon that's never did a heart surgery.
Well, I mean, like, he is not talking about the use or how to use psychedelics whatsoever. Like, he's talking about its possible role in early societal culture,
right? But they don't mention it. Right? They don't mention it. The texts don't mention it. They just have a lot of things that the traits of psychedelics would instill, basically. How does he know what the traits of psychedelics are?
That's very true.
So you're interpreting this literature from thousands of years ago on something you've never even experienced. Bro, you could take those mushrooms, the next thing you know, you could read the shit or something, but don't try them.
Well, I think a lot of that comes from his specific knowledge on Latin and Sumerian languages. Because he did know the Sumer language, so I mean,
did he know that? Okay,
he was studying that type of thing, so
he definitely knew a lot.
So I think a lot.
I'm not saying he was even wrong.
I think a lot of the information is from translation versus
Yeah, I just thought it was weird.
I thought it was definitely weird, and I thought it was even weirder. Like you had like Graham kind of like like side piecing it every once in a while, and I mean like. He kind of would do his own thing that like had a not even a real big relation to what this guy was talking about. He would kind of go off on his own tangent, and just be like, "This is how they were talking to the gods in the universe." And this guy's just like, "Well, I'm not saying that, but like, it seems like there was this place at Lucis, and they did drugs there. That's what it seems like." You know what I'm saying?
I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be his podcast, though. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Hancock was just there because but Hancock wrote or whatever.
It was his book. Yeah, it was that guy's
little
book.
Sector.
Yeah, it was that guy, it was kind of often like to his kind of like space too. It seems like Graham had help with the research as well. But I mean, like because I think you could be interested in it and study something like that, and still be trying to figure out what drugs may have played in our society, and not really be interested in doing psychedelics yourself, So
then judge. You're gonna have to judge what people said. Then, in my opinion, you're not gonna be able to judge like how they acted or what they said people did there. And you can say like you can base it, but like it's like I don't think you should be able to arrest someone for a DUI if you've never been drunk. You know what I mean? You're just going off of textbook shit. You don't
Yeah, which is why
actually
you got
know
a
what.
blood alcohol level, you know?
That's one thing they do. But before you can even blow anybody, they have to fail a sobriety test. You know, if you've never been drunk,
Well, everything's textbook, you know what I'm saying? We go to that point, that goes to blood alcohol content. What's your, blood alcohol level? And that can
right?
tells me enough, you
Okay,
know?
so then you find out the guy that wrote the textbook never got drunk, Steve.
Well, I'm not making an argument for it. I was just saying everything's textbook. That's all I'm saying.
I'm saying you shouldn't be able to fucking talk about things on a public scale like that. Or, I mean, obviously you have freedom. I'm not saying like you can't talk about that, and I know that that's not even what he is technically into. But like just on the like as a cop example, if you never experienced, I don't think you can fully understand it. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
And it's like now you're gonna put somebody away and change their life for something you don't understand.
yeah.
Now, a lot of times, right? You see these fat fucking loser ass cops, right? Let's tell them to stand on one knee for 30 seconds. Let's see if they could do it. Let's see if them big ass cops can walk a straight line.
Yeah, and I mean, like, and that's the one thing that, like, if he was telling us what these people were seeing, and he was like, look, I believe that they were seeing angels and shit. I believe this is what they were doing. Like, I think he could very well study it, kind of roll through translation. Because I mean, what else could you go off of besides that of translation from that time period? You know
That's
what I'm
all
saying?
he can do. All I'm saying is
That's
it
what I'm
makes no
saying.
sense for him not to have tried it.
Yeah, he should definitely try
It
it.
doesn't make any sense.
But they made a point when they were talking about, I remember Graham had mentioned at one point they think it was a good idea because they can't use that to discredit him. That's some kind of like
Right, but
psychoactive druggie.
people on the opposite side that are on the psychedelic side, they're using it to discredit him on that side, like I am right now, where it's like, bro, if you're going to talk about psychedelics, that's perfectly fine. I believe your knowledge is respectable. I think your history is respectable.
That's why Graham may come into that
Live it.
point because he offers the side of actual, psilocybin use. You know what I'm saying? They can make that argument for him.
Right, but this is this guy's book.
Because I mean, he had mentioned, of studying the one dude, Thomas McKinnon. I forgot his name. McKinnon,
Oh, yeah.
Shelton McKinnon. What's his name? I can't remember his name.
Terrence.
But he was studying him. He was working with Graham Hancock. With that. So I think he's having, the people, or like, I guess, someone who has experience with it, kind of like work with them, and not just like him doing it himself through translation. And when I get in context from people, getting different contextual evidence from, other sources and shit like that. So, I mean,
I just get like, that reminds me of like when Jake Paul hangs around boxers. I'm a boxer.
Which made me think yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm Grant Hancock without the psychedelic experience or the Spanx knowledge.
Yeah. which brought me to that thing that you sent me earlier where you were talking about the synthetic psilocybin.
Isn't that crazy?
That's weird, man.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know how to feel about that.
I know.
And I don't, because I'm like, okay, K2, like synthetic THC. I'm just like, it's just like, well, is that what you're gonna try and give the people, or like, what are you trying to?
That's why I like the other
just
side.
Use psilocybin, like
that's why I like that other company where it's like they're really growing.
Just grow the mushrooms. I don't understand. What's the point of the synthetic?
That's what the other company's doing. But it's probably a lot cheaper, bro.
It probably is, but at what cost?
K2's, whoever invented K2's a millionaire.
Yeah, I get that, but I mean, like, it's nothing compared to the real shit.
No, but there's a market.
You know what I'm saying? But still,
who gives a fuck if the stock triples?
It just seems so crazy, man. It's like, okay, I won't take the natural version. I'll take the synthetic version first because I feel safer with that one. Like, it just seems so odd.
Yeah, that is weird.
You don't trust God?
I like this. You
don't trust. Like, I know the Earth produces some crazy fucked up shit, but this is not one of them.
So I was saying the other day when they was talking about like people knocking Portland and their decisions, and it was Oregon, I guess, but like people sit there and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm not gonna do shroom because it's too crazy for me," but do Adderall, drink 2 liters in a day, take antidepressants. You know what I mean? Like, but something natural is too wild for you. I just don't understand that.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was saying. Is like,
try it. That's all I'm saying is try it one time.
Like,
one time.
The most natural drug you probably take at that moment is your fucking cigarettes. I mean, like, That's only a little bit natural because it has a little bit of leaf in there. If that, it's like, come on, like I I don't like. That's what I'm saying. Like someone would like be willing to take the synthetic compound first before trying the one that was grown on the fucking earth.
Just
It's
think
like,
about this though, right? Like we can personal experience. Everybody we know that did shrooms, right? Nobody ever said I ain't doing shrooms again.
yeah.
As soon as we did it, we're like, yeah, we're gonna do that again another time. Yeah, that's it's fun.
And to the organ thing, man, it's like you at some point you have to try another solution. You have to try something else at some point. You can't just shun something and be like, oh, you're just gonna legalize. And people confuse it. They're like, oh, I'm just crack there. It's like they decriminalize the minor possessions. You know what I'm saying? Like
you still get fined.
That's what I'm saying. Like all they're doing is like, okay, if I pull you over, you have a gram of crack.
I'm not gonna arrest you for the ninth time.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna make you go to jail. You know what I'm saying? We're just gonna get a fine or some shit, whatever the fuck it is. It's like it's all about not circulating people through jail
over and over
money,
and over.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's literally done nothing.
Bro, you sound to my dad all the time, bro. My dad probably got caught with heroin 10 times, bro. You go in there, you do 2 or 3 days, you get out.
To try something new. Like if you're just gonna sit here, you're like, oh no, that's not the way. What's like, well, you're not gonna do anything fucking else.
I know. I hate people like that, bro.
In the same system.
I hate people like that so much, bro. It's like, oh, here's where I always go. Okay, everybody in the room, right? We all agree America has a drug epidemic, right? Yeah. Any ideas? I love Brian to death, right? But he's sitting there and he gets mad at me for trying to like talk through a mission, but he doesn't suggest one thing.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? That's what I was saying to him. I'm like, I've met people like that all my life. Like some people are just like that. Like they're gonna let you take the lead, so when things fail, they can blame you. You have to understand when you decide to let someone else make the decision, then it's not just a scapegoat. You know what I mean? You made the decision to let someone else lead this, lead whatever this field is right here. And then you blame them. That's not what you want to do. You want to try and offer solutions. Every time you do it, you fail. You have to try and find. They only say it's only failing when you didn't learn.
Yeah.
Right. So when we go and we play that level, and then at the end we go, oh, damn it, guys, we can do it. And we restart it. What did we learn? We didn't learn nothing, bro. We failed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We didn't improve any. Even if you say something that's not right? Imagine, like, it's the same thing. Like, imagine we're fighters, right?
Yeah.
And I lose a fight to you. I'm going to go back, and I want to go back with my coaches, and we're going to come up with 1,000 ideas. 1,000 ideas on what we might be able to do to beat you. It doesn't mean any of them will work. One of them might, right? But it's okay to still be wrong, but you're throwing out ideas. You're saying, I see a problem here. Maybe we can do this.
I'm not
saying that's the answer, but here's a solution to maybe a problem we're facing. It might not work. It might work. But that's the only way you make progress.
The other choice is insanity because it's just doing the same thing over, expecting a different result.
Exactly,
It's like literally like, you have to try something. You have to offer something.
I don't know if I ever took a worse team loss than that World War C loss last time, bro. That was probably the worst one I ever took, bro.
That took a lot of me, bro.
Dude,
took a lot of me. I'm just like,
screaming.
Yeah.
We're all just screaming, bro. Yeah. We're screaming a lot.
That's what I'm saying. Bro, that's what I'm saying. I'm sitting there, I was like, when you get there, I was one hit. I get there, I'm just like, oh god, shit, come on, oh my god, man. Like, I was at that moment, I was like, I gotta get them up. I'm gonna die.
And that's what you were saying. You were like, oh, I didn't know I had a great lunch. I'm like, but you said it right away. You were like, I'm going to get them. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try and help you. I didn't want to put you up.
Yeah.
It's like you're just making. I'm not saying you were wrong because hindsight.
Because I was going to go for him because he was right on the edge of the corner. Like I think it was either Brian or Saul. He was way out there. I was like, I can't get him, but he's right here at the edge.
I
think I can get him. If I knew you had that, I would have just been like, blow it the fuck up.
They were still coming though, no matter what.
Oh hell yeah, man!
They were still coming.
They had to stay up.
You had to get in that assemble, bro.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, when we had just lost on that wall before that, I mentioned, bro, I told everybody, I said, once you get past that wall, you got to defend the main gate one more time.
Yeah.
And then it's gone, you know? So it's like, I was like, oh, why'd you shoot the final flare? I'm like, bro, I didn't know when it was going to say assemble. I beat this mission one time by myself, I don't know when it's going to say assemble. I just know it said assemble, and I was yelling assemble, and I was there, That's all I can do. I was yelling that so loud, bro. Like, I know Kay had to be mad because I was just assemble!
Same thing going on. I remember like you know how my shit's set. Brett was laying like halfway on the bed and halfway on my lap for here. So I'm sitting there playing over top of her, and she's just laying there. I'm just screaming, and I'm like, I'm down, I'm down, I'm down. I literally see her eye roll like literally like 20
That
million
game's so
times,
much
bro.
fun, bro.
Even bro, in COD, you never ever is there a moment where like I ever say there's a guy here any less more frantically than last time. There's a guy, you know, just like through here. You
That's
know,
why it's so confusing with these friends, bro, who you get in fights and you don't even know. It's like he's gonna go down, you don't even know. It happens all the time. You're like, you just hear team wipe, and you're just like, who was shooting?
Yeah, exactly, man.
It's like that. Some people, I guess, just don't got it. Like once they get locked in like that, they can't talk. You know?
Yeah. I just try and at least narrate what I'm doing. You know, it's like I'm going left. I'm
It
going right. I'm
helps
trying to
me.
poke around right. Poking around right.
I feel like it helps me too, though. You know what I mean? Where I'm just like one guy got two guys running right.
This is the other thing.
I'm talking myself through it.
Because I watch, because like I look at the mini map a lot, and like we'll be running around. I'll be like, look, we're taking fire from this upper ridge. You know, like you're like your guys kind of like a little more left. I'm just kind of like, I can get up right here. I'm gonna go right. I'm gonna push them right a little by myself. You know, and I'll be looking at like the other two, and they're just kind of like staying in the same position. You're still moving, but like they're still staying in the same position. I'm just like, well, you know, like there's times where you gotta go try something.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's like if you can get a play at an angle, you know, opposite to them, that can help cover them. You know what I'm saying? Something can happen.
Yeah,
like,
angles are the key to the game.
I'm saying like if I go and die or whatever, but like you know, there's you gotta make choices. You know what I'm saying?
Like the one thing that really bothers me is how
make choices.
all of us go, if we're not getting a bounty, the only other way you know somebody's on the map is if they shoot.
Yeah.
We see a bunch of shooting somewhere and we run there and try to kill those people. But when we're in a firefight, don't matter where we're at, everyone seems to think you can shoot for 30 minutes and then loot for 10 minutes and no one's coming.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, we don't exist on the map. None of us have silencers.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And we're all shooting on the map for a long-ass fight on top of a mountain.
Yeah.
You got to grab shit and go or just go.
Yeah.
You know, like you can't just sit there and be like, all right, where's the bounty? You know, it's like you just got to get the fuck out of there sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people do that too when they're like in a house. You got a team rolling up on you. You're the only person in the house. You kill someone, you can't stay in the same steps. You know, he just told his boys he's on the steps. Yeah, you got to go a different angle. Different. Yeah. I kill one, I move. I kill another one. You can't be predicted.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the other thing is that like even after they die, like they either go to the gulag once they die, or they'll start spectating at a weird angle over top their dead body for a little bit. So like if you cut back, he'll be like, "Oh, he's still moving here. They still see you." You know, so you gotta get the fuck out of there.
Right.
You don't know if they're in that gulag or they have that split second of extra view. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, you gotta move, get it confusing for them.
And when you watch the kill cam of somebody, you get to see where their partners are at. Because it shows you the name through the walls, bro. You know, because it shows it as their teammates.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a flaw in COD. It really shouldn't show you that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
The one thing I try and do, like if I kill someone, like what I'll do is like, and I'm in a house and like there's more people coming or something, or like you know anything. Just down a guy, kill him. And you try and move somewhere to confuse his like kind of like tell where the guy is. You know, like you go this way, you jump out the window, come in the other side. You know,
right.
And like now he's talking, he's like jump out the window, and he comes in, you shoot him in the back.
Damn.
You know?
Yep. Exactly.
You never know. You gotta think of that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, other than that, like you also have to go and move. Like yeah, most of the time everything. So the one thing I followed, my golden rule for the game or any of these types of games is like, okay, I don't have to agree with what we're doing right now, but as long as we're doing it together, you know what I'm saying? As long as we're doing it together, you know what I'm saying? So like there'll be things like, you know, you'll be like, well, I'm moving up here. I'll be like, you just jump off a parachute. Well, I'm just like, well, we're going this way. I don't want to go this way, but we're going this way now because someone's already gone. You know what I'm saying? Or like if there's a majority, you know, moving, I'll just stay. Whatever,
because
if
not
this house, but everyone's going there, whatever. You know?
If they say there's a guy on them, you're gonna run back anyway.
Exactly.
And that's one thing I've definitely learned.
Exactly. You know, so like I just try to just stick with everyone, and then when it's in the fight, like make some moves, do something, man. You know, it's like.
See, I'm big. Like my key to the game is just like that sound suppression, man. I think when it comes down to like them final circles, sound suppression is this huge, bro. Like I do so much shit. just so they can't hear what I'm about to do, you know? Like
Yeah.
like I said, I keep those 2 frags. I got to where you come out with the 2 frags.
Yeah.
So like a lot of times in them last circles, I don't even know where people are at. But like if we got a small circle and I know we got to go towards the middle,
Yeah.
I'll just chuck that frag to the right, chuck that frag to the left,
Yeah.
just so people can see that explosion and focus on that explosion for a
Yeah.
second, you know? Or we're about to run into a house, you call a cluster in, then you run in there, not to get the kill, but just so you can run up the steps without hearing you. Little things like
The
that.
frag is definitely slept on a lot,
The
bro.
frag
You know
is
what I'm
slept
saying?
on, bro.
I started rocking it since you talked about it. I've just been like, yeah, I love them, bro.
Bro, all the time when as soon as you come up to a house, bro, you know they're up top, throw fucking 2 frags in that bitch and come right up the steps on them.
Yeah.
You're guaranteed to hit them, bro. There's nowhere for them to go.
Not only that, but like there's been times where like, you know, like foul circle, middle of the field, there's a couple of rocks, you know, it's like we're fighting someone on a rock. They duck behind a rock to get more plates, chuck some fucking grenades in them, bro.
Or when you knock someone. When I knock someone in those last circles, 2 grenades right on them.
Bro, even if I crack someone, these grenades are coming on top of you, bro. Cooking that bitch a little bit, but boom.
And it's kind of like a radar type of thing, because if you see the armor break or you hit a hit marker, you know a motherfucker is over there.
Exactly, yeah, exactly, 100%. That's why, like, also don't run heartbeat anymore. I run like stuns and flashes, man. Because like, you know, there's been plenty of times at the end of the circle, run up somewhere, throw some stuns real quick, you know, do whatever, and just try to run up there, you know.
I've definitely took it into consideration, but I just think altogether, nothing saves you more than a heartbeat. It's just.
Well, I know someone's running it, so I just try to stick with them, you know.
Oh my god, when I have to rely on others for the heartbeat, bro, I fucking hate it, dude. It's like we're being fucking around the back of the house, and it's like, yeah, I think I hear somebody in here. Here's your fucking heartbeat.
Yeah, not for you,
the whole time when I'm running, bro, like we're down doing heartbeat left, heartbeat right, heartbeat backwards. Like I'm heartbeat everything.
Like you're good about using that, so like you know, and that's the thing. Like, you know, someone like Brian or Tyler, like, you know, I can't rely on them, you know, so like you'll use it, be like, I got 2 motherfuckers right here. I'll just be like, all right, cool, you know. And there's been many a times, and I think it goes out of notice where like everyone will be rushing this house, you know. I throw my fucking stuns up there real quick, you know. Hit marker, and then you guys go up and just.
Do you? Okay, I've never noticed. Yeah,
I always throw them bitches out there, bro. And my frags sometimes.
And you frags. That's good idea is to go stun frag.
Yeah, I see you guys running up there. I'll just be like, you know, cook frag, you know, and just like flash, you know, just like.
I think you should do the flash or stun first, bro.
I always throw them first.
Yeah, I mean, get that up in there.
It's fucked me a couple times because y'all will get in the house and I'll just like go to throw one in the window real quick, aim it up real quick, and then someone snipes you from somewhere else, you know?
Yeah.
Some shit.
The good thing about it is it can't hurt nobody.
Usually the last one's in the house, but like, I'll just fucking flash them and I can't stun y'all, you know?
That's what I always say, like when we're in houses, like I'll have a Molotov, I throw that Molotov, I'm like, you guys run through it because it can't hurt you, but it can hurt them, you know? Exactly. Same thing with a precision. I call precision on a house. You guys can go up in there because you're not going to get hurt by that.
And even if you don't hit someone with that frag, you know, they usually run from it.
Yeah.
So it's a movement. Yeah. It's another movement.
It's beautiful.
You know?
It's beautiful. You don't want to take a frag.
That's what I'm saying. So you're like, I mean, like, I think most people don't think about these things, and like, I don't
it's
know.
The little things, bro. It's just like when I see people running through like long runs and shit, and they're just running right down the middle in the open ass area. I'm like, look, I know you ain't gonna go far right or far left, but like, if you can, stay on the side of a tree. If you think, oh, people probably on the left down here downtown, stay on the right of the tree.
Yeah.
Just the little things like that. Oh, there's metal right here. Okay, I'm gonna ride this metal. I'm gonna stay by this bus. Anytime you can stay in protection or think about if I take shots right now, where am I going to go to?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Little things like that. Like you got to stay aware of that. The moment, you know, like when you're a player like that, I mean, our 1.15 KDRs indicate it. When you're a player of that caliber, you understand when you're in danger. You know what I mean? Like when we're running through open fields, we're just like, this ain't good. That's why I always say I don't like running across that quarry, bro. Because I always get caught up in something. We win it sometimes, but we always get caught in something.
That, bro, and you're on both sides.
Yeah.
Running to hospital,
that's why I just like get in the truck.
Running to downtown.
Get in the truck, get across there real quick, hop out, then fight if you got to.
If you're running to downtown or running to hospital, people are on top of shit.
Yeah.
You're downtown.
It
with
sucks.
No cover. It's like,
and yet we always run across that fucking quarry.
The only cover is the lowness of the quarry, but that's immediately mitigated if you're on a high building.
And if the circle's on the other side and you're running against the circle, they know you're coming up there, motherfucker.
Exactly. You know, but sometimes you gotta make that fucking run, bro.
We catch people in that. But all I'm saying is if the vehicle is there, we should get it. I was on that 4-wheeler the other day, and you guys got knocked. But I was still going. You know what I mean? We got through that quarry. I picked both you up.
It's definitely.
Unfortunately, Tyler hopped off.
It's definitely different because people don't run RPGs like they were at the beginning of the game. Like in the beginning of the game, it was all about rockets. Rockets were really powerful, you know. So everyone was running RPG, so they could always build a vehicle. But now, especially with the C4 nerf, like no one does vehicles no more. So I mean, not one does vehicles anymore, but no one's blowing up vehicles like they
as
were.
much. Yeah.
So now it's safer. So I feel a lot safer about doing it now than what I
Well,
used
for
to.
me, it's like I hate Ryan in the game. I think that's the worst part of the game. I've mentioned that before. It's just so fucking boring when you got to run far. But other than that, when you're running across that quarry, if there's any vehicle, I just think you should take it, get across there. And if somebody knows you pulled up, so be it. They knew you were coming
Bro,
across. If they checked the quarry, you were dead.
that's why I like the verticality and being able to parachute off of things and speed away a little bit, because that was always the worst thing with like PUBG. It was just like you didn't get a car, far circle, man. It's just like I want to
Yeah.
run at least, but damn.
Yeah.
But you put your weapons up, just
Also, how you could look though. That was one.
I
That was
missed
so
that.
good,
I
bro.
missed
Why
that,
can't I
bro.
look like this while I'm running straight?
I missed that.
Doesn't make no
Man.
sense. I was actually thinking about downloading the pub the other day, bro.
I did download it. I tried
Did
to
you?
play it. Yeah, I tried to play it.
You didn't like it?
Well, I mean, like I couldn't find a game at the moment.
Oh no.
It helps, but I mean, like you couldn't find a game to really try. So
I'll download it.
I'll
I'll go
try
back
it
on there and
again,
try
bro.
one.
I would definitely try it again.
I do. It's a damn good game. It's a damn good game. But
But
Pub
I'll
has
tell
a
you,
special
I know,
place in my heart.
I know it's like because COD is so fast, it's just gonna feel like slow. Bro.
Yeah.
I just know how it's gonna feel. I mean, like
And
guns
the colors.
feel great, and when you're shooting at people, like when I'm shooting at someone like 200 meters away from like a house into the fucking forest, and they're like peeking, just like and they're moving and shit, it feels so good.
Yeah.
It feels really good, but like when you're running and moving house to house, it's just so slow, man. It's just
The
like
thing about me though is the one thing about the pub is the best part of the game was the sound, bro.
yeah.
That's why I didn't play solos alone because my fucking heart pumping out of my chest, bro.
Uh-huh.
And God, I don't care because it's kind of cartoony to me on solos, so it's like
Yeah.
whatever. I still get pumped up. It's still a good game, but because of that kind of just little things like the gun sound, the funny sounds, the fucked up audio, it doesn't get me sweating how pub used to.
Yeah, pub. I remember like playing some solo matches in first person. It's just like
Heart, oh my God.
and you would just hear that sniper shot. You just be like, ah!
The worst, bro.
Or like you're like looting. You're just like,
It was.
someone's upstairs.
It was cool. I used to attach your how you attach your attachments though. I always liked that.
Like that.
It
too,
took a
man.
while, but it was cool because like you customize any gun you wanted to.
Exactly. Yeah, it did take a while, but I mean, like also like that, like they did have a lot of different ones, but really like it was all like really like the same thing after a while. The same, like
Yeah,
with
just
COD,
levels of it. Like there was quick draw, there was extended mag, there was extended quick draw.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's
Exactly.
the third level
I see that
basically.
extended quick draw.
And
that's
I'm
all I
good,
did,
yeah.
exactly. And then like
Hell of a game though. Is there any games coming out you're looking forward to, man? Can't really think of many.
I mean, I was looking. I mean, Cyberpunk seems cool, but like
I just
don't-
can't sell myself on it.
I like shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I just like where you pick your faction, you can choose like to build your character and stuff like that. I just love like
Yeah, it just
RPG
seems like
elements. I like
just
that.
watching it. I don't know, but watching it through the thing, I don't think it did good at that.
I like that. Like the one game I've been playing recently is the Shadow of War, like Lord of the Rings, and pretty much it's like you ever play the new Batmans?
I've played a couple of them, yeah,
Have
a
you
little
seen
bit.
like the combat system is where like it's like you're fighting a bunch of people at once, you're doing counters and stuff. And
Oh,
shit like
do
that.
you? No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so like in this one,
cool.
like it's like all about like you fight a bunch of like orcs and shit, but like there's like higher level orcs and there's captains and stuff, and then there's like lieutenants and shit. So you're pretty much facing an army of orcs, and you can see like the hierarchy, and you can find and track them down. And if like a grunt orc will kill you, like if he kills you, he gets like upgraded to like a captain. Slayed you, what I'm saying? So like it's shit like that. So like it's fun like that, and like plus the combat, you just feel like a badass, That is all.
How much? Where'd you get that game?
It's just Game Pass.
It was on Game Pass.
Just Game Pass,
That's
yeah.
pretty cool.
I was saying, that's what I'm saying. Like with me, like Game Pass is so valuable because I play like so much different shit, bro. I play so many fucking games on that bitch.
I try so many of them. I always get bored.
Bro, that's the thing.
But Lord of the Rings sounds. But like, remember we tried like Sniper Elite,
yeah,
and it was like, no, this is not even a good game.
Yeah, no,
I went back. I downloaded like Gears of War, and I was like, I downloaded Halo, and I'm like,
There's the game. I think it's like Frozen Dark. I played on there. Ace Combat 7.
Ace Combat just got them goofy fucking controls again, bro.
Yeah, it is, but it is fun, bro, man. It's fun. I downloaded it because they have the full game. When I downloaded it, I played the first couple missions, taking off on an aircraft carrier. You're just over the ocean and shit. It's fucking cool, man.
It's cool, but there's just a fucking
I hate it, man.
Damn, controls like inverted axes and shit like that, bro. Like what the? Let me change it, motherfucker.
Yeah, I still had fun with it.
You didn't beat it though.
No.
See, I want to
but
beat some
it's
stories.
yeah, that one particularly was like, like it was okay. Like the story to it isn't anything crazy. You're just not like, you're just like a pilot.
You can only do so
That's what I'm
much.
saying. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. So like to me, it just didn't have enough story. And like once you
Maybe they should make them like one where like you get knocked down or something. You get blown up
like
and you
that
like
is a game that'd
land.
be better with like a flight stick, a flight controller,
Yeah.
and like
I'm sure it's
VR.
way better on
Like VR,
fucking
man. You know what I'm saying? Just like
computer.
oh shit. It's like
You
it's
should
just
download it on your computer and try it.
yeah. I do want to do that. But I want to get a flight thing too. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
for sure.
But I mean, like I play the game. It's a game called My Name Is Pedro, and that one's like a silly like side scroller, but like it's really cool. Like I love these little neat game designs that people do.
Yeah.
Like
Like
this,
Red Hot.
yeah,
Is that
exactly.
what they're called?
Like this one, it's kind of like that, but it's different. Like so, like you're just like the side scrolling guy. You have two guns, and you can aim the two guns separately as you're moving through the level. But you can also like jump and like do flips and like it's like kind of like actiony where like I can like jump on a rope, hold one gun, shoot, do a backflip, and then like shoot in the air like slow mo. And just be like boom, 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 land, roll on a skateboard. Boom, 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 boom,
On a
boom,
skateboard?
Yeah, you can land on a skateboard, jump out the window, front flip.
Is it like open world?
No, it's just a side-scrolling level game.
Like
So
you go like
it's like a
this, right?
platformer. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you see like all
So
the
the
different
skateboard's
floors and
just
stuff.
waiting for you.
Yeah, you see all the different floors. It's a platformer. You know what I'm saying? You jump different levels and stuff and shoot people and stuff. It's just fun. And it's a neat game idea where like you jump through this, like you jump around as a character and you're just shooting slow mo everywhere and stuff. It's
No, I'm the
just fun.
same. I'm the same way. Like the Red Hot game, that fucking police alert
Yeah,
game, bro. Like I
exactly.
like little
Those are
games
fun.
like
Those are
that,
fun.
bro.
Exactly,
And
man.
they're
So
cheap.
yeah,
I love like when
exactly,
you gotta
man.
pay for them, they're
That's
not
the thing.
expensive.
That's the thing I miss a lot was that like with like 360, the library has so much more depth because you had so many more game studios. Whereas like
Yeah.
nowadays you just got a big game studio, they find another studio that's like getting big themselves and then just buy it. It just becomes shit after that. Example with like EA buying the one BioWare, like they made Mass Effect, and then it was just shit afterward. Just like
Mass Effect was.
yeah,
They made a shitty Mass
the
Effect.
most recent one, and I like 3, but a lot of people didn't like 3 because that was like the first game they put out as a takeover. But I mean, Mass Effect 1 and 2, awesome. 3, I think is great, but like the new one they released, no one liked it. It's just shit like that. Like let these little game studios do their thing and release these indie games, man. Just let them do that. It is what it is.
It's hard because you also don't have a lot of information on them, though. Like the only way I found those games is just by looking them up myself,
Exactly. Like you see them somewhere, but there's like no big advertising.
And then you have to make
like
the pool to buy a game you never heard of now.
That's the one that like I think that's why that's why I personally like Steam is because like Steam had like that has that type of thing where like you can find those smaller studios and I mean especially on PC anyone can just put out a PC game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like the coding is so much easier from my understanding than it is to actually port it and import it to like a fucking 3 Xbox or some shit. So it's like a different type of coding. So like pretty much anyone can make a PC game, and pretty much Steam is that place forward. There's just a marketplace of all these little studios, and they just all release their games, and you can just buy them. It's just cool shit.
Yeah, it is cool.
So,
I mean, you could buy a lot of other games that like through the store.
If you were to,
there's a lot of free games too.
If you were to take on design a game of yourself, what type? Like you don't gotta go into details, but what type of game would it be? You know what I'm saying?
We've talked about this before. I told you I'm always ancient, bro. I want ancient Roman, Greece versus the Trojan style type of time, bro.
Yeah.
Open world gladiator. I really like that.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Open world gladiator and be able to do like mass battles, where it's like I go in there, I kind of decide how I want to approach the battle. I'm going to do, you can do it simple for me. I could do, just tell me percentages I can do, 40% archer, 30% cavalry, me, 20% swordsman, shit like that. And then I attack on this mass battle. If you can generate, these 150 people in COD, you could generate AI, to probably to 400 or 500 at this point, I'd imagine. And just have like these mass battles, and then also have other things, kind of like if you incorporate like Assassin's Creed style, but then you add like Assassin's Creed, old Assassin's Creed, but then you also add in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and then you add in some For Honor, and then you add a little bit of that new samurai game.
Yeah,
like you put all them kind of together, where you're like, you're an ancient
the
like
thing I'm
warrior.
thinking about is like exactly what you're talking about. but like it's like 64 versus 64 type of like Battlefield style, where like
Battle Royale?
but like
You could
yeah,
have that option.
well that, but like Battlefield style, where like it's big a big map. You have 64 people versus 64 people. You choose like what your weapon is, like with your two handle, your sword and shield, your fucking bow and arrow, and then these 64 v 64 players just fight it out over
Right.
like objectives and shit.
See, I
Bro.
see that as a
I
simple
don't know,
add-on to the game I'm talking about. Like the game I'm talking about would have a version of multiplayer, a version of Battle Royale. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
you would have
yeah.
these type of things where you could compete. But I told you I want story modes now. So like I
Yeah.
want like that God of War story mode on that.
Hell
You
yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yep,
You get
there
what I'm
you go.
saying
Yeah,
now? You
yeah.
rolling with me?
Yeah. See, bro, I wish you could have played it back in the day, bro, because you would have loved that game, Rome, bro. You would have loved that fucking game. Not Rome, I forgot what it's
I
called.
play.
But it's the one I told you about that on PS2 where it was
Oh
you play the gladiator and shit.
yeah.
You would have fucking loved that
I
game.
would have
It
loved
was
that.
all story. You played two different people. So like sometimes you were that gladiator, the other times you were this dude Octavius. Just like it was just all story about Rome, about the time Caesar got assassinated, and you're there, bro. You're in it. It's just so fucking cool. You become like a legionnaire. It's just badass.
Crazy
man.
they did that years ago, and like they haven't
Exactly,
addressed
man.
that.
Bro. I remember like when you were the dude. So like when you were the guy, the gladiator dude, you were more so like fighting people and like more of a warrior. When you were the dude Octavius, it was more about like stealth and like intel gathering. So it was like two different types of games.
Gotcha, it's cool.
So this guy, like, Octavius, he would like knock someone out and he disguise up as a senator or something, and then just like infiltrate the Congress and steal some papers and shit from out of there. And then this other guy would fucking fuck shit up on a battlefield and shit. It was just cool as fuck, man. Like I said, I showed you the gladiators.
So we kind of got the same image of the game we would create.
Medieval fighting, bro.
Yeah.
But I would also want to do something like where the game
I
Spellbreak.
want to do other stuff, yeah.
Like Spellbreak, but like it's like high resolution, realistic, like looking stuff. The same gameplay where like you're flying around and stuff, but like I shoot a realistic looking ass fireball at you that just blows up.
All my games have 4-player co-op mode.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's
all of them. All of them. They have a single story 4-player.
That's what's missing, man.
Here's the thing. You could tell me, right? You designed that game. You tell me it's got a story mode, a 4-person story mode option, a multiplayer, a battle royale, and you give me that game I want, dude. I'll pay $100 for that game. You know what I mean? It wouldn't matter about price.
But don't give me Call of Duty and tell me this is enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, Modern Warfare has that, but I mean, like,
don't tell me we have Call of Duty at home.
Like exactly. Don't tell me we have that at home.
And it's Spec Ops.
I know what medieval style type of shit.
Ghost Recon.
Or I remember I want a game. Like if you're gonna make a milsim game, I want like a really like super realistic story mode type game. Where, like,
I was just about to say that. Like obviously, the ultimate game is the most realistic life experience you can do.
Well, I mean, like
why does Grand Theft Auto sell so much, bro? That's like the most selling game of all time.
Yeah,
it's because it's open world and like gives you all of these options. I was thinking about Grand Theft Auto the other day, bro, and just like really how crazy of a game it is. Mm-hmm. Think about how many things you can do in Grand Theft Auto, bro. So you talk about Ace Combat, bro. The flying in fucking Grand Theft Auto is funner than Ace Combat, bro. Yeah. And Ace Combat based their whole fucking game around it. And I'd rather fly anything in fucking Grand Theft Auto. You can do flying cars. You can steal the big plane. You can steal the helicopter. Yep. You know what I mean? You can do all types of things. You can fly a jet in that. It's fun as fuck, bro. And then you think about all the other things you can do. It's like the closest thing you can think about is Red Dead. That's the closest things is those Rockstar games that are like you're basically playing The Sims.
Yeah.
But you also have an action-packed like Kane and Lynch aspect to it or some shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like they saw the game that they wanted to make and they went out and did it.
And the thing is, they do great story modes. They're easy to beat. We talk about it all the time, but they're great stories. They really are good stories with great characters.
Yeah.
It doesn't glitch a lot at all. It's long loading screens, but it doesn't glitch. The amount of vehicles they give you.
When you're spawning a whole world, though.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
But the amount of vehicles they give you, that's what I'm saying. The amount of vehicles, the amount of homes, the amount of people, the amount of weapons, the amount of options, the amount of customizations, like that thing runs as smooth as you could fucking ask.
That's why like the only
it's the greatest game ever built. Nobody can deny it.
The reason I'm ever excited about time passing is that I know I'm getting closer to a new Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
but like you can't deny, no matter what games you like in the world, like no one doesn't like Grand Theft Auto.
And look,
I don't think you can say Grand Theft Auto is not the best game of all time, bro.
And then you take that And now I can then create a character and come play with my boys, and we're all four in this world
Yo, let's see if
flying
anybody got
together,
Grand Theft
bro.
Auto with us.
And we're all playing flying together, bro.
Let's see if Saul. I think.
I'm always down to play that shit, bro. We had fun
No,
just driving around robbing
yeah, but
stores
remember
and
we
shit.
couldn't figure out how to do the bank heist and shit, bro, because
Yeah.
we couldn't figure out how to do a posse.
Yeah. Yep.
So we need to see who else got it and see if we can all join up. I know Saul has it.
I know. I'm pretty sure most people have it. Bro.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
most people-
They have it.
Dave
on
Bell
Xbox,
has it, I
but
think.
They never play it. You
We
know
just
what
need
I'm
to all get up there on
Because,
the because it's
bro,
so fun,
saying?
bro.
We used to play GTA 4 all the time, bro.
Yeah.
We used to. I remember we'd just be running around and driving these helicopters, blowing shit up, just geeking, having a good ass time.
And now
bro.
it's like so advanced that you can do the bank heist and shit like that. Like,
Exactly.
I
They're hard.
want to do them.
They're hard.
I never got a chance to do one.
It's so cool because it'll be like you, like one person goes, they put on like a garbage truck uniform, or garbage man uniform. They set this dump truck up as a roadblock, and the other person's like going somewhere to collect something, and the other two people are lining up at the bank. And like it just all comes together. There's a getaway driver and shit. It just like, all comes together. Where it's like there'll be one person,
Awesome.
they get the getaway vehicle in position and stuff. It's just so cool, man. Because not everyone's doing the same thing at the same time, you know. And then you all go on this bank together, get the fucking getaway vehicle, and you're gone.
We gotta try and
man.
re-download the game and get a posse going on
I
there.
always have GTA on because every once in a while I get that.
It's so big.
That feeling to go in and just drive around, fuck shit up.
I'll tell you what though, bro. I didn't know how big my S's memory was compared to the regular Xbox.
Yeah.
As Brian was telling me when he downloads COD, bro, he downloads COD and he downloads Madden. He can't download nothing.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, bro. I know yours was even bigger than mine, but like I got COD, Madden, Fight Night, UFC, Red Dead. You know, I got way more space
bro,
than that.
I got Red Dead Redemption. I got the COD on there. I got Grand Theft Auto. I got FIFA 21. I have all the Mass Effects on there.
Yeah, it's
still,
pretty
you
good
know
with
what I'm saying?
memory. It's good if you think about how much room's
I
there.
got Shadow of War on there now.
Yeah.
I used to have like
that
5
original
games on there.
one's like fucking 8 years old at this point, probably, right? Something like that.
I think yeah, just about, man. I remember Tyler had his original. That's the thing. Like, I never like. I probably won't buy. Like, I did buy an original one, but like, I might wait to that point, or where until they come out with the advanced Series X, bro. Like the Series X.
Yeah.
Plus or something, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it's such a it's like such a huge jump that they did with that little midterm. I mean, it might take forever, but I probably will wait at least 2 years to buy a new console.
It's funny how my mind works. I told you though, like I've been rooting for Tyler to get that PS5, bro, because I wanted that PS4. I got so many story modes I want to play on PS4. I know. So like me, I'm going backwards. You know what I mean? I want a PS4, bro. I want to play God of War. I want to play the samurai game. I want to play the zombie game they got. I want to play all those games, bro.
That's the thing. I want to get one too, man.
We should buy 4s, bro.
I want to get one, man.
Let's get some 4s and we can go back and play all them games.
I want to play like the Spider-Man with the God of War.
The samurai game, that's online co-op now.
You
know what I mean?
Exactly,
the zombie game with the 2 bikers.
Yep.
A Way Out? Is that what it is? No, that was the prison game.
What it is,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Days Gone?
Yeah.
Days Gone, you know, where you're 2 bikers. That's a co-op mode. Like, there's tons of fucking good co-ops on there.
I'm going to get one, bro. If you're getting one, I'm definitely getting one. Dog.
Yeah, man. I'm definitely going to get one.
I'll get one, bro.
Yeah, and then, like, outside of that, I want to play, like, the baseball game. You know, just try it. Like, I haven't played a baseball game in fucking 10 years.
MLB, I forgot about that, bro.
Yeah, you know.
I had so much fun with those, man.
They were so much fun.
That's the thing. Like, lately, especially the new FIFA, I've been getting really into like the manager mode where like I'm like signing the players and like simming all the seasons and stuff and doing shit like that. I'm just like, just try and make.
That's what I do, yo.
And it's just fun, just having a good ass time.
I love it. Just like I put together a good enough squad.
Yeah, I remember I used to always like one thing I always like. The first thing I do is I always make like a my player, and then I play that for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be like, all right, I'm retiring and becoming a manager now.
Oh, you can do that?
You can import the same face to a manager career, but the separate one.
I got you.
You know
just retire.
So,
and
like,
then
I'll start at like the first season again, but I'll be like, I'm gonna retire and become a manager. It's like I want it all. Like it's
so funny, bro. Just like we've talked about this a few times now. I was talking about I was talking to you and like how I am on Fight Night, bro. Yeah. It's like the same exact thing. I was geeking so hard. I was going crazy on quarantine. You know what I mean? Like 2 weeks in, I'm going like crazy at this point. I'm by myself a lot. I'm just geeking at myself a lot. Yeah. I'm up in the bathroom, bro. And like, so I go downstairs and like, I'm playing my Fight Night. I restart, this Fight Night thing. I'm like, all right, I'm being light heavyweight. I'm going to move up the heavyweight and fight these big guys, Like everything's going good. And then like I ended up losing a fight that I didn't think I was gonna lose, you know. And I was like, fuck. So I go back in it and like I win a fight, and then like the next fight I got knocked out, and I'm like, oh, I gotta take a piss. So I'm upstairs taking a piss, bro. I'm like, and I'm thinking about fight night and my career, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, and like when I came out to take a piss, I was gonna go back down and play fight night, but I'm up there. I'm just like, just got knocked out twice, kid, in 3 fights. You can't go right back out there and fight. you gotta give yourself some time to heal.
Yeah, bro. I remember I was getting because I do the same shit, bro. I remember
It's so fun being realistic.
Yeah, I remember I had UFC too. And I remember when you'd make a career, like you'd always start off an Ultimate Fighter, and you gotta do like 4 beginning fights. I remember like I had just got done making a character, and like I was like at first I started off trying to make myself, but eventually I changed them into like this like Spanish dude who was just like, had these crazy dreads,
crazy mustache.
His nickname was like Machete, and like, he just tatted the fuck up everywhere, bro, like tats everywhere. And I remember I was just like, he's gonna climb the ranks, you know, just gonna climb the ranks, you know, just like. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make a really badass like female fighter, woman fighter, just decimates everybody at like this like low weight. So I remember I did that, and I went to Ultimate Fighter, and I put it on the lowest difficulty. But I didn't want to challenge. I wanted to go in there and just fuck them up in these 4 fights with Ultimate Fighter, and just be like, it was the craziest run anyone's ever seen on TUF. You know, this crazy ass Asian bitch named Suzuki Honda with like this crazy Bantu knots, red Bantu knots, just comes in and like
wreck 4 people.
Like so. In UFC 2, it would get really glitchy on the easiest difficulty.
Yeah.
I remember like, so I would come in and it would just be like, bing, 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 bing. And then they'd fall down and I would just uppercut them up off their feet. And it would just be like, boom. And then because they went from going to being knocked out to get an uppercut. And then it would just act like a knockdown.
Right.
A knockout. It was so weird. So like, it would just be like, pow, pow. But it would look like they go out, then I uppercut them and just fall on their back. But they're still in it. So I get on top of them, just like, I was just geeking, you know. I was probably home high as shit one day. Just bored as fuck one day. I was like, look at this crazy ass Asian bitch with Bantu knots.
Yeah, Suzuki Honda.
Just Suzuki Honda. Just fucking everybody up with like these crazy ass uppercuts taking bitches off their feet. It's
just fun.
I'm just geeking. Yeah. I'm just geeking. And I'm like, I never played her again after I got past those 4 fights. But like, you know, it was just fun. You know,
you just wanted that tough, that tough run.
Yeah. But with the other dude I made, it was just like I was playing on like the moderate difficulty, but I didn't know how to play. So I'd always get submitted or I'd get knocked the fuck out.
On easy?
No, it wasn't on easy. It was on like normal difficulty or something. You know, it was like
it's easy on medium, hard, legend.
UFC, I'm not sure what it is in UFC 2, but it was the middle one. You know,
medium.
Like
okay,
you know what I'm saying? So like, and I didn't know how to play. You know, sometimes like fight. I didn't even know how to do the submission system. So like, I would get submitted all the time. So like, I'm sitting here at like 1 in like 30. I'm just like, I'm grinding. My body damage is up super high. I'm just like, he's grinding. His name's Machete. He's making a name for himself. You know. I'm just like,
they only tap me. No one can knock me out.
Career's nothing crazy, so I'm still like ranked whatever.
That career sucked.
I'm not even sure if I'm ranked, you know?
Yeah, you weren't ranked.
You know what I'm saying? If he's just fighting, his body damage is super high. It looks like
you lost all the fights you're supposed to win.
Retire at like 26 or some shit. Like, it's like came in when he was like 19 or whatever. I've known whatever age you had to be on that.
Yeah, man. That fucking new UFC, man. I'm just super impressed, bro. And I thought I was gonna buy that game and just fucking be knocking it, bro. That is honestly one of the best put together games they've put together, like as far as EA period, not even fighting. Like it's just they did very fucking good on that game, bro. I mean, obviously the fighting technique still ain't as crazy clean as like Fight Night was, but because you can do so much more shit too, though, you know, but all the like animations that are incorporated are so realistic, bro. The options that you have and the way they set up the controls now is like, you have just like if you just keep going throughout your career, you're going to have like an unlimited arsenal of moves you can use. But incorporating those moves in the fight with all these different button combinations isn't easy, you know? So like left trigger RBY is like a front stomp to your, you know, your knee. But then like if a left trigger RBY hold Y would be like a spinning back kick, you know? So it's like, you got to like use your arsenal. And like in Fight Night, when I want space, I get it. And when I need a break, I can work through it. On UFC, it's like the fight's always in your face. And they're like making you use your stamina a lot. You got to like really kind of, learn how to keep that pressure off of them without doing too many strikes to overkill
Yeah,
yourself.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
they just did really good on that. The takedowns are really clean. The way is like you can get up off of the cage now and like work off of the cage with elbows. Judo flips are in there. Like you have all of these options. By the way, all they did was just make it to where you tap it or you hold it with different button combinations, but it works now.
That's cool, man.
So
That's
they did
cool.
great on that. That's like the least best improvement they made. My favorite thing about the game is how you can sustain injuries in the fight, which is like, there's never been a game that did that. There's never been a fighting game that ever allowed you to sustain an injury like mid-round. You get what I'm saying? Like in Fight Night, you'll be bleeding, but then you go to the side and like you heal it up.
Yeah.
So in this fight, you could tear your ACL. You could tear your meniscus. So say I go for 4 fucking leg kicks in a row and he checks every one, tore meniscus. So now like your fighter is like limping on that right
You keep
side,
fighting.
and you keep fighting, bro. At one fight I had 3 injuries, dude. It was like a shoulder tear, a torn meniscus, and like a contusion on my leg. And my guy's just like, still fighting, but like he's showing it on
Yeah,
his
he's
body.
hurt.
I never seen a game do that
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
cool, man. That's
that was
cool.
that was crazy, bro. Like I'm like, that's super fucking cool. And I was telling you like how they incorporated the Twitter thing where like basically you can talk shitty to someone and reply negatively, and like you're gonna basically build hype for the fight, but fans could take it how they want, or you can basically try and establish good relationship with people, which you want to do because you don't make millions in this game no more. You're actually like have to do certain things, like you want a bonus to be able to train with high people because they want to get paid.
Yeah.
So the better like relationship you have, the cheaper they are. So for you to even learn techniques, you have to have money. You get what I'm saying? And then those techniques, you can't just rank them up no more, bro. You have to use them. Like I was saying,
Yeah.
it's the best thing that a fighting game has ever incorporated in the history of fighting games. I don't care what nobody says. Throughout all fighting games, you could be the best at everything. You would max at every Fight Night had to fix it to where you could only do 220 up attribute boost. So you couldn't have everything filled no more.
Exactly. Yeah.
So they made it, but you still got plenty. You could have, a fucking 20 bar right uppercut in Fight Night and never throw a right uppercut in a fight.
Yeah.
You can't do that in this game, bro. So you could unlock it through buying it and training it and getting it. But then for you to upgrade it, for it to be more deadly, more powerful, you have to actually use it, bro. So it's like you don't get good at nothing without actually training it or doing it in the fight. That's like, however they decoded that, bro, is like insane to understand, basically. It's like, it's super wild. Like, if you only throw left hooks, you're going to have a great left hook. You're going to have you're going to have a 1-star right hook. It's cool as shit. You know what I mean? So them guys that like in Fight Night, them guys that I told you would just like abuse that straight right over and over, just bam, bam, bam. That's all they would have at this point, So you'd be able to do other things where those guys, they still have other attributes. The game didn't cap them. So it's just a beautifully put together game all around. I just think they did incredible, man. The story mode is awesome too, because it's just so in depth.
I remember I was seeing they start off like fighting in like the backyard cages or some shit.
Yeah, you start fighting off amateur, and that's like an option they did, like how Fight Night has bare knuckle. It's kind of like that. You fight in a cage and shit like that. But the story mode, you just come up on the amateur scene. I mean, it's nothing special, but the way it just leads to it, and with all of these other things that are incorporated, they just did so good. And plus, the AI is difficult. Like I'm playing on hard, bro. I've lost fights, but I'll keep playing it. And they have like legendary mode where like you can't even restart things, So they did things like that like I really enjoyed the realistic aspect of it. So like I don't restart no fights. If I lose, I lose. You know what I mean? I won like probably like 13 fights. I lost like 4 or 5, from getting submitted, like you said. But did you know they simplified the submission shit too? You don't got to do it how you used to have to do it. So like you would probably really enjoy that. Submission shit's very simple now.
I remember UFC 2 was terrible.
Yeah. So now when you go around, you just use the left analog stick. You hit it left if you want to go for a submission, and you hit up if you want to get up, and you hit right if you want to ground and pound. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like it's a set system of what you choose as your move. So like I got arm bar. So like it'll attempt the arm bar if I keep hitting submit. You don't got to try to time things or like worry about them keep stuffing you.
Yeah.
So I add on like that little attribute where it helps you get to your feet.
Yeah.
And guys that try to hold you down and submit you, you can get up now. You know what I mean?
remember
They
like,
would just deny you.
remember,
It's so frustrating.
in UFC too, you had to move the sticks in a certain way to try and get up. And then, like, if someone else matched the sticks better than you, they would just like, hold you down.
Well, like you would go for someone, and if they mashed it, if you mash it on the right analog, it denies it, and
Yeah.
you lose like tons of stamina.
Exactly, man.
They just mash you, and like you just feel helpless.
Exactly.
They don't do that no more.
Yeah.
But they gave you an option to where if you want to turn that back on, you can. And they even gave you an option where you can mix it. So you got simplified, but you got hard.
I remember there was a whole reason whenever everyone fought UFC, we would only fight hands and kicks.
Yeah.
Because the
ground's just too much.
Was like not only that, but like you would have to have the game and know those controls to really be able to fight effectively. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, come on, the fuck.
Yep.
But I think EA needs to realize that like they're alienating a huge market because they catered to like the Ultimate Team so long in all these franchises.
Another good thing about that game, bro, they got that off of there, bro. Yeah. There's no Ultimate Team this year, which like on all the reviews, everybody was happy about that because they're like they're not going to focus on upgrading that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
They need to focus on like the little manager and player aspect, the career aspect, because that's where a lot of people will find enjoyment.
You know another cool thing they added, bro. You could decline fights. You know, so like if they give you a fight that you're just like, bro, I already beat that guy. You know, you can decline that fight and they'll give you another offer. And another cool thing about it is they don't tell you what that fighter is anymore. So you know how you have to like, use points on like your training and shit? Yeah. You have to use points to study people too. So you have to use points to figure out who they are, what their best traits are. You know, if you like, obviously if it's like Khabib, I don't got to study him. I know who Khabib is, you know, but like random guys, you might want to see like, is he jiu-jitsu? Is he going to try and take me down?
Exactly.
You got to pay for that now. You got to study tape on them. You know, you don't actually do it. You just hit the button.
But it's a good, you know,
it adds it too. So you just don't know everything about the guy. Like, oh, he doesn't have no leg strength. I'm just going to hit his legs.
Exactly.
You know, it made it really easy. So now you don't even know that. You don't know what his best submission is unless you go to it, you know?
Yeah, exactly, man. Like, that's the type of thing.
It's beautiful, bro. These are great.
They need to really flesh those things out in like all those types of games. You know what I'm saying? Add storylines to them, you know what I'm saying? Like it can't like invest in that part of the game. Yes. A lot of people like I think it shows with like 2K. People love the my career, you know, thing in 2K where like, I mean it's lost its way recently from my understanding, but like
for sure.
You start
2K this sucks on story.
You start off in your college, you know. I remember one of the 2Ks, I forgot which one it was.
The last one we played. That was 2K17.
Yeah, I remember
that was the last good season.
Like you're in like high school and
good story.
Apparently you killed somebody and your boy took the fall for it or something.
Some shit like that. I forget.
Went on to college
and you're
just helping them out, and shit like that. It was just like, man.
We all like that one. Yeah, exactly. We all played that one. Yeah. We were playing the Pro-Am shit.
Yeah,
remember that shit was fun.
You, Foley, and Kurt.
Yeah, that shit was hella fun, man.
I remember that shit. Yep.
And then after that, it was like it just went downhill, bro. It was all like transaction based. People just bought themselves to 85. The next year, they allowed you to buy up to 85.
That glitch, and also like I remember like once you started getting
green,
especially once you started getting to the archetype type shit, you know? Man, it's like because now you solidify that there's like a really hard meta. So if you're not a slasher shooter, you're not doing shit,
right?
You know what I'm saying? If I'm a post guy and / 3-point shooter, that ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be a slasher and a 3-point shooter archetype. Or like you just ain't got a goddamn thing.
The one good thing they added on 2K is like you have to aim the shot with the left analog stick now too. So you can't just get a green.
Yeah. Or you can't just press X.
You can't, you can't just get that green and maybe be guaranteed. You still got to be angled with the left analog.
I remember like the one thing, like, you know, especially in like the last one we played in the earlier 2Ks, if you picked a good like shot or like
release
and get the, I remember I would use the X button sometimes, except the layup, because with the layups you could do the acrobat stuff. But I remember like a 3-point shooter, I would just hit X and get that timing down.
Yeah,
which is like
same.
You know, it'd be good.
Green.
You know? Yep.
Why don't you add your rhythm down?
Yep. Well, look, with free throws and everything, I still did the stick. You know, I just felt good, you know.
Well, I like using a stick, period.
Go, you know,
it just feels way more realistic.
3-point shooters, I would just, boom.
When I use the stick, I feel like a shooter. I was like,
that's what I remember. I used to geek at the at 2K12 because I remember that was before you could take a my player onto online and play some other people.
Oh, yeah.
On that one, you could just get a bunch of virtual currency and then just upgrade your guy. You can upgrade everything if you want to.
I remember houses and shit.
And I remember
your clothes, your couch.
Well, in 12, like I remember, like you could just get every stat 99, you know, if you wanted to. I remember I played that was the last time I played a lot like that. I remember on 360. I played that one so much. I had most of my thing at like 99. And I was just like this insane point
100
guard
points a
shit.
night.
That's what I'm saying. It was just like this is just got boring eventually.
You
Because you
imagine
get
when
good
it's
at everything,
you
man.
imagine when games like that are VR. You know, we talked about like Madden, but like 2K2, you know, it's just like
Yeah.
we're running 5v5 VR. It's like through the legs and shit,
Yeah.
but you're actually better because you got these attributes, you know, so like you are
Exactly, yeah.
faster and shit.
Exactly, man. You
And,
don't-
and you like they got it on TV now. It's like the 2K championships, and it's like two little ass white guys, you know what I mean? But they play like 6'4" dudes, you
Yeah.
know, and it's like
I know it's good as fuck.
Yeah.
It's all up here. They got the IQ.
They beat
They got
Carmelo
the
or something
IQ.
at the
They
game.
got the IQ, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like they don't got the body, but they got the IQ. You know? Just like me,
I'm a shooter.
Yeah, just like you know. Just
I want to
like,
yell at Carmelo's face.
that's one of like in real life, like army and police officers would have an advantage in you know in airsoft usually, but they would that advantage wouldn't translate to video games. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For some reason, this 11-year-old kid who plays this game all the time is just way better you at it.
Yeah, it
You know?
doesn't matter if you got two purple
You know what I'm
hearts.
saying? Exactly.
You're not gonna shoot that guy
Four
better.
Quarters, you're just like
That little kid Saul share was crazy, wasn't he,
just
bro?
360 no
6
scope
years
you.
old.
He just 360 no scope you off the shit.
I want to
And
use
just-
that sniper that guy
and
was
Chris
using.
Wilson.
That little kid. That
Which
Saul
one?
shared in the chat.
Oh yeah.
I want to
bro.
use that kid's sniper, bro.
I
That
forgot
bitch-
which one that was. I
He,
don't
he was
know.
6 years old, bro. He dotted everything. It was like an SP87 or something.
Yeah, you know.
It's like he sees him, he dots him.
Yep.
He barely misses
Yeah.
shots, bro.
You know, I love there's the one dude. It's like this like 70-year-old dude. He's like 70 years old, and he streams himself playing Apex Legends.
70?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Because he's playing like Apex Legends, and he just like just like he says the lingo and stuff. It's just cool, man. And he's streaming. I'm just like, wow.
Oh,
look at this guy,
I'll still
you know?
be gaming at 70.
I mean, but like he wasn't raised on video games. You know, something
Right.
later where he was just like, this is
Yeah.
awesome, man. Like,
Uh-huh.
and then it was like, so you should stream. What's that?
Well, yeah, they'll be like, oh, I don't play video games, and then they'll get addicted to, they'll play a 6-hour game of fucking hand poker or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
Like
remember like there was like that
Yahtzee
There
from
was
the
that,
fucking
like-
handheld.
there
Those
was
were
that-
so big at one point.
there was that one person's grandmother, like she logged like 8 years on Wii Fit.
Dude, That's crazy. But do you remember when there was like that little span of time? Not a little span of time, but like when we were younger, you could go to pretty much any house and you would always see those handheld either poker or Yahtzee games.
yeah,
The electronica ones, you would always see
everyone
them.
had one.
You
though,
would
man.
always see
That's
them,
what I'm saying, man.
bro.
That was boomer tech right there.
Yeah.
It's just-
They whoever did that made $1 million. I was talking to stocks about with some of these wise men, you know, and I was talking to them just like, and they were telling me about like some of the losses they took, bro. And these men are very crazy. They take gambles, bro. But they were telling me about some loss they took, and I'm just like, well, there's certain things that you know you could probably invest in that are always going to be good, right? And they're like, man, I don't care what company you say. There was always a company that was like that they said would be around forever.
Yep.
And they're not. It's like you could say Microsoft, eventually it's going to come out with something that Microsoft can't compete with, you know?
A lot of people are comparing like all these electric vehicles.
I'm just like, you sound boo.
People are comparing a lot of these electrical vehicle stocks like to the .com bubble where you had like all these like internet website things. pop up and
Yeah.
you just invest in them and whatnot, and they were just like, oh well, the internet's gonna be the next big thing, and it's for sure, right? Well, that's the same thing people are thinking about with these EVs, but like the same thing will happen. Where
Mhm.
only two are really gonna come out of it, like
If
all
that,
these,
yeah.
all these people, like you'll probably have Tesla and someone else.
Well, this guy was telling
You
me,
know?
bro, that the play he made that was his best was Rite Aid, dude.
Yeah.
Rite Aid was a penny stock. He bought it for like 70, 80 cent, bro, and it
Mhm.
ended up going up like 300 fucking times percent, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
He made 30 grand off of Rite Aid.
yeah, bro.
The
Yeah.
problem is he bought more.
Mhm.
So he still has tons of share of Rite Aid and they went way down, you
Yep,
know? So at
yeah.
this point, he's took
Over
that
time,
loss and
ex-
now it's just like sitting there.
Exactly.
He don't want to take the loss.
That's why, like,
I'm telling you
A
another
lot-
crazy thing this guy
Okay.
did, bro. When Iraq had was crumbling basically and was
Mhm.
kind of having that overthrow originally, like when we invaded,
Yeah.
he bought Iraqi money, bro. Dude has millions of Iraqi money because at the time, like apparently a lot of rich people were doing this, dude. Like you could buy like 15 million Iraqi for $15,000. So like all these people bought this Iraqi money, hoping that one day that economy is going to come back,
Yeah.
because they're like, they produce so much oil, their economy should eventually come
Yep.
back when
Yep.
they establish it. And he's just like hoping to have millions of dollars in Iraqi money. I'm just like, you guys are crazy,
I
bro.
was saying, bro. I mean,
Dude, he gave me some good ass advice there, man. He
bro.
definitely,
I mean,
every time I'm with this guy, man, I learn a lot with these guys, period. And he was just telling me, he's like, I'm at a point now, where I need a chunk of money. He's like, for me to do big things in my life, I need a chunk of money. He's like, $1,000 doesn't do much for me anymore. He's like, I need 30, 40, 50 grand, I need chunks of money.
yeah,
And he's like, in my experience, the only ways to see that chunk of money for, the average people is real estate or stock market,
yeah,
but both of them are a gamble.
yeah. I mean, like, so there's one dude who he got big on TikTok recently because I don't know where he hangs out, but like he'll just go up to people who got these really nice cars. They'll be like, "Hey, man, what do you do for a living?" A lot of time, well, 9 times out of 10, it's real estate or some type of like private financial business, you know, and or just like works on Wall Street. Like nine
Mm.
times out of 10, that's what it is. It's like, oh, what do you do for a living? Oh, private real estate, shit like that. It's just like, so I mean, that's how you get that quick wealth that you accumulate, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
That's what we need, a chunk.
if and that's what I'm saying. But like, it's also if you like, you need to work up slowly and get the capital behind you. But it would help so much if you could start off with some capital, like 5 grand. Like you buy something, you just see something, you buy like
Well, bro, that's what he was
a bunch
saying,
of
bro. I
shares, like
mean,
real
I'm looking
quick.
at this successful guy, and he's like, everything I got, I couldn't afford. So I found a way to, get it. And once I got it, I made the payments. I paid it off early. I paid it off,
Yeah,
before I
yeah,
don't pay no interest on nothing.
yeah,
He's like, if I can, I always keep my money in my pocket. If there's an option for me to do 3-month finance, no interest, I pay it off in 2 months and I do that. So I can keep that money in my pocket at that
yeah,
time,
yeah.
and also building his credit, obviously, with all of that shit. But just learning little things like that. Like
A
I
big
never, I don't know this stuff.
a big saying is like like the worst money is money going like it's a better way to say it, but the worst money is the money going to interest on debt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's the worst
for
money. You know what I'm saying?
sure.
You're paying someone for having their debt.
Yeah, you're
for
paying
for
someone
your
to pay
debt.
them.
To exactly. So I mean, it's paying things off early. It's a huge thing. But I mean, it's tough. When you come from nothing, you just have to build that up eventually. You know what I'm saying? You get to that point. You know what I'm saying? It's like it doesn't come out of nowhere, and that's why like I think that's like what drew me to like just the app here. Just like look, there's some shots to take here. You know what I'm saying? And you can put any type of money in there
Mhm.
and get something.
I was trying to show him that,
You
because when he's
know?
talking about buying these Rite Aid stocks, is like they used to have to watch it in a newspaper, dude. You
Yeah,
look at a newspaper every day and see what the stock change was. Then you had to
yeah,
go online.
and
You go to
that's
like buyandSellTrade.com.
and that's my big thing is that like especially in a normal market you wouldn't have these companies and like these things like move the way it does. You know what I'm saying? You would every once in a while, but like I think a lot of things are accelerated because we're in a very new market, the coronavirus market. I mean that's just like no one knows what the fuck's gonna happen or go on. And that's why I like options because you can take a little bit of money and then compound it and turn it into some big money
Mhm.
quick. But I mean there's a lot of risk to it. There's a lot of risk to
Yeah,
that. You know what I'm saying? Um,
we
and
all want to do
and
that.
with shares it's like unless you get something that goes up 150% in a week or two, you know what I'm saying, it's like be prepared to hold something for years. But not only that, but you're also holding very little, so like that's why I just go all options, bro,
I
until
get
I
what
get
you're
some
saying,
chunk, you know
but
what I'm
once again,
saying?
I think when you see it from the other standpoint of just like how I would explain to anybody of I was about to start a M&T savings account. The accrued interest is 0.02% of your average checking account base, which would give me like $5 at the end of the
Yeah,
year
yeah.
interest. Meanwhile, since I've started that account, I've put $50 in there every chance that I got. I've invested $170 and I've made $50+. So is it the most money ever? No.
Yeah.
But for what I was looking for, I'm getting way more interest off of these little slow investments than
Oh
a
yeah.
bank would
Oh
ever
yeah.
give me.
100%.
So why would I
100%.
start a savings account when I can just put my money in a Robinhood
100%, bro.
and
Yeah.
say, give me a DK, give
Yeah.
me a PLTR,
Yeah.
and,
Exactly.
and watch that interest grow way more than the bank was offering.
Yeah.
So that's what I suggest because I didn't want to get in that for
But
gambling,
but it's that's all tax, bro. It's all taxed.
I mean,
You
not
know.
at that point. You have to accrue a certain
Well,
amount.
so
Like what is
any
it
income made on it, I believe, is taxable at about 30%
when I cash it out?
when you cash it out.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you cash it out. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
At 30%. That's
But
crazy.
the losses are also write offable. You know what I'm saying? You also have capital losses you can write off.
Right.
So like,
What about if that happens and you just don't tell them? You think they're finding you?
well, I think so because it's all linked to your social security number.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so I mean,
But like I made $60 off DraftKings or something. You think like they're coming for me in my taxes?
I don't think a Fed will. You know what I'm saying? But you may owe. You know, at one point. You
They're telling me
know,
I owe $60 or
or you may
something.
take a little less on your refund because they offset that. They take what you're owed and blah blah blah. You
Right.
know, whatever. You know what I'm
So you
saying?
think they would take your taxes?
They're typically pretty solid about doing that, man. I remember like I owed taxes one year, I got a nice return. The next year, they took it all to cover the taxes owed the year before instantly. Like
Yeah, they got me on a
it never
medical
got
bill
in my
before.
hand. It never got in my hand
But
for me to give it back to them. They were just seized it
I've
immediately.
also
off of
manipulated that.
taxes.
I've gotten them before too, though. Where like when that TurboTax first came around, and like Obama basically was making it illegal if you didn't have insurance. You know,
Yeah,
you would get fined.
yeah,
I didn't have insurance all that time, and I just marked it.
yeah,
Never got fined.
yeah.
So don't come for me,
I don't know if it's
IRS.
something that they'll ever find. You know, it's when you make money and they don't get any part of theirs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's when they're like, or when you owe a bunch of taxes, they're just like, now we need ours, bro. We need ours. You won't be able to renew your registration. You better come pay. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's the type of thing. I mean, it's all.
Can you imagine though? You just buy a couple of them PLTRs, you know, and
it's been real good to us, bro.
and what if one day, you know, it has that Bitcoin, you know, maybe not Bitcoin, that's huge, you know, but that Tesla where it goes up $900. It's just like, okay.
Yeah.
It goes up $900 like
exactly,
man.
yeah.
$10.
Well, I mean, as far as the consensus seems to be, is that in a couple of years it'll be worth like 100 plus. So, you know, maybe even as early as next year, it'll be 100 plus. You know, I mean, they're expecting a lot of things. I mean, people that I've seen, I still don't understand the technology. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's just the general consensus just seems to be there's just this one that's gonna have some nice, steady, slow growth because of its military applications and its government. A lot of people are banking on the government utilization of it. You know, where like when the government gets in, they start getting contracted by the government when the big money comes in. You know,
right?
And that's where you start seeing valuations with like the Boeing because they're a government army contractor.
I wish that I got in on that damn blink charging, bro.
That's
a good one.
That's a part of the bubble, bro. Straight up.
I don't give a fuck what's a part of it. They went up $25.
Bro, you're telling me I literally had a 1218 $25 call that I bought for $30. And today
they blew that away.
Today when it went 32, that was worth at one point $800.
It's crazy.
You know, so I'm sitting there. Of course, I'm hurting, but I got over it. I'm past it. I took it off my watch list because I'm not even gonna play it. I'm not even gonna play it. It's bad mojo. Because this is the thing. It's gonna go back down. You know,
and that's when I'll buy.
You know, it's the I think if it goes, I think even if this bubble pops, it goes down a little bit. It can still be.
I'll buy any dip.
Because
here's the truth, Steve. I'll buy any dip.
People are right that EVs and electric vehicles are the future. People are correct about that, but it depends. It's just what company actually has the value behind it, rather than being just worth a lot because it's an electric vehicle company.
Right.
And that's what's happening. I mean, like, look, the XPeng one, XPEV, that company, they were at the beginning of the month. They're literally worth $20 a share. They skyrocket. They're $73 a share right now.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Nio, you know, they started off. They were $1 last year.
That's crazy.
$1, and this year they're worth 55 a share right now. And if you don't get in on the upside of that when they're going up, you don't want to touch it, man. Yep. You do not want to touch it. I don't like. It just doesn't make sense for them to be rise. It's not a healthy rise, bro. They're gonna pull back some, definitely, you know. And some of these places aren't even delivering vehicles.
Right.
Not even selling. I showed you the vehicles that those other companies are making.
But when you get in on that low, it doesn't matter if it pulls back some. You still made plenty of profit.
Exactly, bro. There's people who bought in at like $1, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
1,000 shares.
100 shares, whatever, man, and just been like held it to the moon. There are people that were holding it, that were buying calls cheap, you know. You buy some leaps and cashed in on those motherfuckers, bro. There's one lucky motherfucker. He bought calls for like 3 days, and then he was just like, I'm gonna buy puts. And he buys puts, a good call pulls back a little bit. He makes money on both ends. I'm just like, man, like,
wow.
You gotta have money to make those moves, though, man.
Right.
You gotta have money for that. because the thing is, like, when you have that much money, you can hedge, you can diversify, you can do shit like that. You can put some down on the
Yeah.
downside to hedge your bet for the upside.
Right.
You can make more money easier with that shit.
Yeah, there's like a glitch, like a lot of like gambling sites are not offering like player props and shit like that anymore because there's like kind of like glitches, like not glitches, but they're a lot easier.
Mhm.
So like in UFC, there was this one glitch that like Bovada had to stop and shit, where like you would you could by the way the differential was in the beginning of the fight, like whenever it was at like 270 and 130 or something like that, I forget the number,
Mhm.
but you could bet, basically you would bet it's going to go over 1.5 rounds, right? Which would always leave you in plus money. And then you bet live after one round. Like after one round, then you bet on whoever's favoring in the fight.
Yeah.
So at this point, you're already you're breaking even on your 1.5 because that's going to go 1.5. You already made money off of that,
Yeah.
and now you're betting that money onto the person that's favored to win the fight too. So you kind of like you double bet it with half the risk, you know.
Yeah,
So like
yeah.
they had to stop letting people do that.
See, and that's the thing I'm learning. I'm learning better entry points and exit points for my options. You know what I'm saying?
I heard someone say, bro, that you don't. What did they say? There was an MMA gambler, bro, and he said the best gambler. I forget how he said it, but it was related to any gambler. He said gamblers don't don't do predictions; they do percentages. And he's like, he's like, I don't bet on who's going to win the fight. I bet on the percentage of the chance of it happening. I'll bet on anyone for the right amount, basically.
Yeah.
If you give me 1 to 5,000 odds, I got that guy because
Yeah.
that's way better than betting on the guy that I might think he's going to win, but it's 5,000 to 1. What do I make? $2? You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Where this guy, I might say he's got 10% chance of win, but for 1 to 5,000, I'll fucking take it,
That's what I was telling you about with like options plays and the Greeks and whatnot. Like, a lot of the options I have right now that are in my portfolio are, they're high deltas with low thetas. So they have high increases and decreases for dollar drop for a couple of days, and the time going away won't hurt your value too much. So I've just been trying to stick with those, and the big thing with those is that you got to get in early and cheap. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to get in at a good entry point. So like I've been riding the Palantir for like this whole week, and at one point, I bought them in at 50, 12, 18, 25 call, and at one point it went up and it was worth 100. I bought at 50, I made 100, so I sold it real quick, and then I rolled that into a 28 call for 12, 18. So I mean, like, going out to that longer strike price, it's cheaper because it's a farther out strike price on the same date. So you bag a little money, but you still expose yourself to any upside that the stock
Right,
receives.
right,
But you bag
right.
yourself a little money. So that's what I've been doing. So
You
like,
also went higher though, a $3 increase.
yeah. So the price comes down a little cheaper, but
Right.
still has a very high delta against the theta. I
Right.
still have a lot of time. So I did that. I did that from 25 to 28 to uh I don't think I've done 30 yet. I think I have. I'm not sure yet, but I've pretty much rolled those into those, like, just kept rolling it, bagging a little money, roll it a little bit, bagging a little money. Just try and keep
Yeah.
that in rather than just try. I'm also trying to hold whatever thing I got until at least the end of the day, or wait to the end of the day to buy. You know, and unless something opens up extremely red, and I want to make calls on it or some shit, I just try and because I would always try and buy it in the beginning, and that's why it's the most fucking crazy up and down swings you'll see. And if you react on those, you'll just keep fucking yourself up. You'll waste all your day trades and shit, man. But I mean, that's it. I just try to stick with the options. I'm just trying to make quick money, bro. I'm just trying to flip quick
Yep.
money, real quick.
Well, it seems like Palantir got over the $20 hump, so
Well, it's true.
I mean, it could always
It's
take a hit.
21. I mean, I think its growth recently has been on. I mean, it will probably pull back at some point, but it's been healthy. You know what I'm saying? I think people are really, hyped for the company.
It's
It'll have
not
some
$5,
long-term.
$10 in a
Yeah,
day or
it
something
won't.
like
It
that.
won't blink, bro.
Yeah.
150% in 5 days.
That's crazy.
Monday last week it was $9.
It's crazy, ain't it?
By Thursday it was 16,
And all these people just
17.
make this make-believe money.
By today it was 32 high.
And someone buys it at 32, and
know?
they sell it to someone who thinks it's going to hit 36. It's like, what the fuck?
I talked to a couple people. They were saying the same thing. They were like, yeah, I bought. So once I saw it rise, I bought it like around 12, 13. and I sold at 17, 18 because the mind is it has to pull back. It can't keep shooting 30% days
Right.
for 5 straight days, right? It can't
Right.
do that. But here we go.
Ah,
Here we go, man. So it's just like, fuck it, man. It's whatever, man. If everyone knew what was gonna happen, everyone would be fucking
every
rich. So
minute.
I just it hurt
It's a gamble.
because I was in early and I chickened out. But whatever, man.
Yeah,
Paper
I'll have to
hands.
show you my study book now, man, because so after that legalized it in Maryland, bro, I started really trying to learn some more shit about it. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna put my money there. I kind of just you want to be as respectable as you can.
Yeah.
You want to know as much as you can. And I was just seeing learning a lot about little tiny of these sports betting. So number one thing, like everybody was saying, is if you're gonna get into sports betting, is just keep a tally of your bets, basically.
Mhm.
Number one. So now I've been writing down, the fight night coming up, the fighters that I like, why I like them, the
Yeah.
bet that I would make, and trying to see how many times I would be right. To see
Yeah.
to hopefully see that okay, well, sometimes you get it right. You would have hit on this parlay right here or something.
Exactly.
But
Yep.
when you're still a rookie and you end up getting 5 out of 6 on a parlay for the fucking 10th time because you bet Shogun Rua at fucking 39 years old, thinking he can up on one more time, thinking he had one more fucking punch in him, and then you fuck your old parlay.
I'm trying to see
Yeah, I've been there.
Bro, I remember I told you I messaged you a while ago. I was trying to find it just so I could see a time frame, But I remember yeah. This was what day was this? So November 17th. That's Tuesday. It was probably like $11, $12. I remember I hit you up. I was like, get FCell and Blink on your radar.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, when you feel something and you just make the call and you just feel it, I bought into it, and then I had second thoughts because I was like, I don't know as much as I've read about Palantir. So what I really want to do is pull money out of this one and put it towards PLTR because I feel like I know more about one. This one
Right.
seems like a safer bet. I should be good. So I pulled out of it, put it, double down the Palantir, and just whatever, which has still been cool to me. But it's like, man.
But that happens that time, right? Then you make that same decision next time, and you're right. That's just how it goes. You can't overreact, and you can't underreact.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
So that's why I was sitting there, and I'm looking at that, and I'm like, and because I listened to this one podcast that I value a lot, bro. There's this one guy on there. He's a nobody. A lot of people don't know about him. His name is Cody Schaffler. This guy really knows betting, bro. You would be, you do not hear any MMA person in the MMA community make some of the predictions that I've heard this guy make and be able to know it. You talk about betting on 1,200 minus 1,200 underdogs and shit. But it's he calls those at times. He has that type of ability to get above it. And on that I was listening to his podcast, and he's like, I know you want to bet on Rua. He's like, you want to bet on Rua because he's that old champion, and you're thinking he can get it done one more time, but you can't. He's just shot at this point, and you can't do it. And you can't just believe everything they say, or you won't have your own opinion. So to me, I'm like, nah, I'm going for Rua. I think Rua could be a diamond here, And he ended up getting his ass kicked and just scoring me nothing. And I'm just like, sometimes, he knows right, but sometimes he might say something I go against it and I'm right,
Exactly,
So it's just because he's an expert doesn't mean he's going to get it right. And just because you don't know as much don't mean you're going to get it wrong.
And that's the thing, it just no one knows until it happens,
Mm-hmm.
And there's no news about it until it happens. So I'm looking at this Blink shit and I'm like, well, there's no information out there being like, hey, look at these EV shit going up. You should probably buy Blink because no one's advertising to go do something when it's still cheap.
Right.
Because they're banking on it exploding like that.
But dude,
they don't want you buying into
if
it.
I read Blink's description, I would have bought it. I know it. As soon as I read that description, I was like, damn, bro. That is a good idea.
I felt it, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like, it has to blow up. But then I'm sitting there, I'm also like, it's only...
You don't know.
It's only charging stations. There's really infrastructure.
You don't.
It's a few select cities in America.
That's why it's gambling, bro.
There's, could its valuation trickle over? But that's why you'd be making the bet that it would trickle over or not. I just felt like I didn't have enough knowledge on it to make, and I felt like I had moral and power, so I
Right.
went and doubled down on the one that seemed
Bro,
safer.
I do the same exact
You know,
thing. There's a
so
fight where I look at both fighters and I go, it could be two nobodies that are coming to UFC, and I go, I think this guy's
yeah,
going to kick this guy's ass. But I'd have never seen them actually fight
and that's
live, so I don't want to say that. Where like I try and bet on the people I have seen. So like it's two fighters I seen fight before live that I'm like, okay, now I got a good understanding for that. So I bet on Rua and versus Craig because I'd seen them fight. But meanwhile, there's, Antonio
yeah,
Shevchenko for
yeah,
$200 more. I could have got her
yeah,
and she scored 150 points. It would have been great for me.
yep,
But I had gone with what I knew,
yeah,
because I didn't want to take a risk on something I don't know at all.
exactly, man,
Yeah, it
exactly,
sucks, but that's how you hit
yep,
first place. It
yeah,
is what you do.
and like I said, I'm just looking at it, and I'm just like, I'm gonna go safer. I mean, like it's just it made sense, and then and 9 times out of 10, it turns out the opposite way. Where I stick with that one, and it loses like
Mhm.
you were scared of. So I'm saying so. It's whatever. It's not L. I didn't take a loss there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I just missed out on something big. But I mean, it's like
Living and we're learning, brother.
exactly, man. And I mean, it's literally like the first year I've ever spent doing this, if that. It's not even been a
Yeah.
year yet. So you learn, and that's all you can do.
Yeah,
And
that's what I'm saying. Like you're sitting here talking about the stocks. I'm just like, bro, I've been doing this for a month with you. I made $50.
I'm gonna lose
I was
money.
happy.
Yeah, I'm gonna lose money, man. And I mean, bro, it's I just know it's in there, man. I just know
It's
it's
in
in
there.
there.
There's something there.
The money,
The chance is there.
I can make money there, bro. I
Mhm.
know I can make money there. You know what I'm saying?
It sucks when you feel like that on gambling, though, right? Because
Yeah.
it's like that's what every gambler says,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah,
And like if you talk to like a compulsive gambler, they'll be like, "Well, I win."
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
like, oh, but you can't stop gambling.
yeah.
Which I'm not saying you're a compulsive gambler, but you get what I'm saying.
Nah,
It's the
definitely
same thing
definitely feel
sports
it, bro.
gamblers are saying. It's just like, I know I can hit it. I know Dolphins are going to cover by 3 tonight.
Yeah,
I know it. They always cover on Monday nights, or something like that.
and I mean, I think I think once you I mean, you've been looking at it for like the past month, like. Once you get into it and you feel a flow of like things, I mean, like, of course, you can never know where things are gonna go, but like you have a general idea of kind of like how things kind of react and how that one. I mean, like you now know how DraftKings is gonna react. On a day to day, not day to day basis, but you have a feeling.
Uh-huh.
You've seen how it grows.
Well, I got my other gambling companies in there. So, like, FanDuel's not public, but like I have their parent company
Yeah,
that trades for them.
yeah.
So, like, whenever that takes a loss, I know DraftKings is going to take a loss. It kind of goes hand in hand with the
Exactly.
gambling.
Yeah, yeah,
You
exactly.
know?
And earlier when you were talking about like investing and stuff, like what a lot of people would do, they'll invest in the individual companies, but then you also invest into a future like S&P 500, and you invest in that type of general thing, because that is just like a market index of a bunch of other companies, and it exposes you to all of them. So that's what you do with like futures and stuff. But I
Mhm.
mean, like you mix that in with other things. You know what I'm saying? Like the S&P 500, like Tesla got added to S&P 500, so its performance now works
Dude,
to the performance of
that's so
S&P.
funny you say that. So, her uncle was telling me, he's like, well, at this point in my stock trading and buying, what I do is the investments I've made are to always just indicate the market's progression, basically. So like the areas that he's in, they gain every time the market as a whole gains.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
get what I'm saying? Every
yep,
time SP
yeah,
goes up, he knows these companies are going
yeah,
up. Might not be
exactly.
that much, but they're always going to go up.
Yep.
I was like, damn, that's probably the safest you can get on those. But you got to know which companies, and he's
And
with
that's
a not Goldman Sachs, but you know
yeah,
what the fuck I'm talking about, a
like
investing company.
I mean, like you wouldn't have a portfolio of all like S&P 500 and then like Apple and Microsoft, because Apple and Microsoft are both in the S&P 500. So if they all do bad, like you're taking hits on all sectors,
Right.
type of deal. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you definitely want to have a diversification. That's always good. Expose yourself to different areas. But I mean, like there's definitely areas you want to focus on. You know what I'm saying? Tech, you always want to focus on tech, man. That's always going up. I don't
Yeah.
care what no one fucking says.
Even if it's fake,
And that's the thing. SCP, like
it's going up.
that's the thing with investing in individual companies. Sometimes you'll find things that outperform the S&P 500. But as long as this country's growing, the S&P 500 is gonna grow with
Yeah.
it. So it's always good to have some of those in there.
You think we're gonna get some more stimmies or what, man?
Yeah, won't be till after January though, when Biden takes office.
Think so?
Yeah, there won't be anything in the pipeline until then, man. Nope.
Maybe it'll be fatter then.
No one. Oh man, that's the thing. Like that's gonna be the next big jump. You know, We got a small jump this
I went
morning
2 racks.
off the AstraZeneca
Hmm.
vaccine news, but that was very minuscule compared to the others. You know what I'm saying? That's quickly wearing
I
off.
thought shit was weird, bro.
Stimulus could
When
be the next big thing.
them fighters were going to Abu Dhabi to fight, bro. Abu Dhabi was having them take a vaccine.
Wow, that's crazy,
Yeah,
bro.
bro. Their coaches and everything. And I'm like, where'd they get this from?
Yeah,
Which
exactly,
one
man.
is it?
Yeah, it's weird, man. I don't like it.
Yeah,
I don't
bro.
like it, man.
And then like reports were coming out that a lot of people saying they took that vaccine and felt like shit for days, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's what it is,
Like
but that's scary.
let's be real. We're developing vaccine news a year, oh, not even a year after we started developing this vaccine. So I think we might be farther off than what some people really actually
I'm not even
know.
saying that it's a conspiracy or nothing like that. All I'm saying is, like, me personally, there's a 0% chance of me taking a vaccine because I directly exposed myself to this virus for fucking 21 days straight. I didn't get it. So I'm not going to take a vaccine to not get it because I didn't get it. So at this point, I don't know what it is. I'm not going to say it pick and chooses its host.
And see, and that's the other thing is that if you do get a vaccine, after that it only works as good, 90% specifically. It only works
Right.
as good is if people actually take it. I think you'll have a lot of people who don't take it.
Wait.
And I mean, like, if
What?
people are relying on the vaccine to be a thing to prop these markets up, then it's just gonna come crashing down anyway. Right?
Here's
You know what
what people don't understand, bro. This is something I didn't understand. I want everybody to get it. When they talk about percentages and vaccines, right? That doesn't, they say 95%. That does not mean they tested 100 people and it worked for 95.
Mhm.
That's not what it
Yeah,
means.
yeah.
It means anybody who takes it is 95% effective to not get it. Anyone who takes it has a 5% chance to still get it then. That's what that means, bro.
Well, see, the percentage that they were coming out with the effectiveness on this one, I believe, was on a certain amount out of 30,000 or so. That's because that's all they had to go off of.
Bro,
right
but
now.
it's just like any vaccine.
Nothing's
You,
100%
dude,
effective.
you can have a polio vaccine and get polio.
Yeah.
You can have HPV vaccine and get HPV.
Yeah.
It's the vaccine is not a guarantee you won't get it.
Well, see, this is the thing with vaccines though, and what makes them ultimately effective is everyone being on that 95% chance.
Right,
then
right.
It lowers that 5% chance exposure
Right.
by a whole lot, and that's going to be the thing that really makes these vaccines inefficient. Also, the development of the vaccine so quickly just sketch.
Why
Super
don't
sketch.
that's what I was just about to say, Steve. Why don't they break down what's going on to us? Like when there is this progression in the vaccine, how come on the news they're not like, well, scientists today, they were trying, baby embryo and they mixed it with vitamin B and it fucking showed signs that were good.
Well,
You never hear what they're actually doing to make the vaccine, bro. And sometimes I sit there and I just wonder, like, okay, you're a scientist and you're in that lab and I say, start a vaccine. Where do you start, bro? What do? Do you get like a plasma?
I think there's a general start to vaccines where you always do that immune thing where like you put a small part of the virus in the vaccine and then you kind of
Right.
like whatever. I think there's like a
That one's supposed to like confuse your central system to
Yeah.
think it already got it.
and I think you tackle it with that type of mentality and then you go from there as to what chemicals to use. And I'm not sure about after.
So would you
anything
take
after that.
it?
Yeah, nah, I'm good. Nah.
Not gonna take it.
I mean, I won't even buy the new Xbox because I know it's got the problems. Like, why would I take a new vaccine? It's got problems. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
I know it's got problems. Plus, everyone's going to react to it differently, bro.
But they're going to use it against people too, though. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you want to see your dying grandmom in the nursing home? You got to take this vaccine.
I mean,
You want to be there when your kid's born? You got to take this vaccine.
I mean, but the other thing is that, like, these companies that are developing these vaccines, AstraZeneca, Moderna, Pfizer, they're also all publicly traded companies. So why would we ever release bad news when that means we lose millions and billions of dollars
Right.
just off of us saying something? We lose valuation. Like
Yeah.
that fucks our ability to make money moving forward.
We're only
Like,
here to
just
say
like,
good
come on,
things for sure.
it's crazy. Like, I mean, like that's the crazy thing. Like, that's what was surprising to me about the OxyContin Purdue Pharma case, because Purdue Pharma was a publicly traded company, Purdue, but they're not traded no more.
They aren't?
They're not traded anymore.
Wow.
They were made to shut down Purdue Pharma. You know?
Were they?
Yeah,
Are you
Purdue
sure they were
Farmers no
made
more.
to? Because I know they were fined like crazy. They did get
It was
Johnson and Johnson lost too, bro.
Purdue Pharma was disbanded, bro. You know,
After the Oxycontin thing.
straight up, yeah. Which I
Well,
was
that
surprised.
I'm saying that might not have been court ordered. That might have just been for public relation,
Who
bro. You
knows?
don't
You
want
know,
that
who
name no
knows
more. You know what I
exactly? Yeah,
mean?
exactly. Who knows, man? You know, I
We
have
ain't
no
that
idea.
no more. We're something
But
else.
straight up, I mean, like, you know, like,
That's just like when I was telling you about, like with Rockefeller, when he had that big trust. You know, it's Standard Oil of Ohio became Exxon.
Yeah.
Standard Oil of Miami becomes BP.
Yeah.
You know, Standard Oil of Wisconsin becomes Shell. They're all the same companies till this day. They just change their name.
Exactly, man. You know, I mean, like, that's why I think it's weird when you see people like EA, you know, buy up small studios, or like you see Microsoft purchase Bethesda, like a huge game developer. It's like, God, man, like
I seen a thing that
you're
said,
getting bigger.
I seen a thing that said, EA, it's the same.
Yeah.
I was like, that's real shit.
It's just crazy. You're getting bigger, man. Like you're getting bigger. And then like Microsoft then creates something like their cloud thing. And they call it Azure. It's not even Microsoft, but everyone knows it's Microsoft. It's like
There's this one guy that we used to always have in the chat that was always like, he's like, I buy my sport games every other year because all they do is add more characters. That's literally what they do gotta do, like especially 2K.
Yeah.
All they do is add the rookie class, update overalls, and give you the same game.
Bro, FIFA is the same exact shit.
That's
bro.
crazy, ain't
You
it?
know what I'm saying? That's why I was like, I would never buy it for 60, but I'll play it enough for 35.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
You know? But like when I'm playing this FIFA game, I'm like, bro, there's nothing different. It's a reskin.
It's the same thing, new names.
You get the new uniforms, you get the fucking new players.
Women's soccer.
Whatever. It's all the same shit.
Is there a story mode on that one?
Yeah, but
Is it
like
no
you don't
good?
create your own character like how Madden did, where like you're just a random like person,
Uh-huh.
you know, which is cool. But like it's like I want my person to be in there. My career mode's like pretty like unfleshed out, but they put a lot of attention to the manager this year, you know, so that's cool. But
Did they?
but
Has
yeah,
it got
whatever.
anything cool that happens in the story mode, or is it just like basic?
Well, in the story mode, I mean, like you do a bunch
Start
of
in high
different
school or
shit.
something?
You do some like you'll play like big games and like you'll talk to people and you play street football and crap like that. And then there's a whole like street football story mode. But to me, the Volta football isn't even fun. It's not like FIFA. It's not like FIFA Street. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I was playing that
to me,
before.
FIFA
Yeah,
Street's so much fun, bro.
there is a FIFA Street.
Oh yeah, there was a FIFA Street 1 and 2. It was so much fun.
Oh, back in the day. Yeah, I
back
thought you
in the
meant a
day,
new
yeah.
FIFA. They
This
did
one,
it.
it should be like FIFA Street, but it's not.
Like
know?
the NFL Madden, they tried to add that feature onto like the new. They got the KO mode, and then they got Superstar mode. But the KO mode is supposed to be like street football, but they just did it. They just did too much. Where it's like they give you points for like lateral and shit like that. So it's just like when you play, bro, it's like ridiculous. It's just like trick play after trick play after trick. Like they're snap the ball to the wide receiver. And then a guy runs behind, they flick it to him. You know, they throw it to a guy in front, then he flicks it behind.
Yeah.
It's all behind the line of scrimmage. So
Yeah.
they just rack up points, and then they throw a 40-yard touchdown. It's like 13 points. You're just like, this ain't even fun or real.
Like the whole thing, like I remember, like,
And you can't blitz them.
I haven't played the
Let's
new
mention
one.
that.
I haven't played the new one, but the old in the last year's Volta, it was pretty much just a small 3v3, and you could pass off the wall and shit like that. But that's about
That's
it.
the one where you start off playing with the kids and shit in Brazil, right?
Yeah,
in the
pretty
streets,
much.
the
Yeah, pretty
favela,
much,
favela.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just like it's just not fun. You know, it's just silly. I mean, I like soccer, so I enjoy the game.
All the
but
games are good.
It's not, man.
All those sports games are good. They're just too much.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
And
If you
then-
sold that game every year for $40, I'd probably buy every one.
Yeah.
I'd probably buy that NASCAR Heat if you was selling it for 30. You know?
I played it enough.
I played
still
enough.
enjoy the
Oh, I'm
games,
not
but
gonna pay
there's definitely
60.
room for improvement.
And now you're talking about PS5 games are 70, bro.
Yep.
I mean, it was $100 for a game. It better have a story mode. It better have 4-player mode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Don't just give me like Rainbow Six Siege where it literally is just multiplayer.
Or Wildlands.
You know, like
it's like, hey, there's an open world, but it's the same fucking thing in every corner of this big ass
and I better
map.
get DLCs for free.
Think
Like, come
about
on,
how
bro.
big the Wildlands map was.
Yeah,
It's
huge.
fucking huge.
Huge.
Same thing everywhere you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was such a great map.
Yeah.
It was a good ass map, bro. That map was ahead of its
It
time a
got
little
boring,
bit.
definitely, man. You know, but like I think, especially with that one, like I think what it could have done, man, is just had some more enclosed buildings. You add some breach and clear type scenarios.
Just
and
add
shit.
different
You know,
scenarios. That's all you gotta
just
do.
Interior, exterior, vertical gameplay, and then
Dude, the problem was you had the 5 levels, right? It's like you start here. This is like one level of like the map, and you open it up,
Yeah.
right? And each level, it's the same mission harder.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's, oh, press this radio signal and defend for 30 seconds. Level 2, defend for a minute.
Yeah.
Level 3, defend for 90 seconds. You're just making me defend longer. You didn't switch nothing. I still all I did was press a fucking radio button.
That's why like I miss like Rainbow Six Vegas 1 and 2. Because you could play 4-player co-op, put it on ultra realistic. You do like the SWAT team breaching stuff,
And they
like,
had that little like
clear the
Spec
house.
Ops
It's
side shit.
cool, bro.
Yeah, that was cool.
It's cool. It's fun. You know what I'm saying? You need shit like that.
That's why I like World War Z, because I'm like, bro, they did a lot of repetitive things, but we never are like, this is repetitive, because they switch it enough, where it's like, oh, we didn't get turns this time. You got ball wire instead of a grid. Like, they do enough to where it's a little different, and you don't mind.
Even when you're playing the same mission 4 times.
And it's fun because it's a horde. That's always fun. There's just so many.
And the best thing to me is that, like, even though we're playing this one mission over and over and over again, one time we have claymores in both areas. It's different this time than last time. Oh, we got the harder one this time. Fuck, it's like.
And like, still on top of all this, they're able to generate 300 zombies coming at you.
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy, bro. And they invented their own like thing to be able to play that.
Yeah,
their own generator, I guess you would call it.
Cool, man. It's definitely
it's fucking great.
Yep,
they did great. And $30. Like I said, you guys paid nothing, but $30. Yeah. I was like, $15 a month. So. Well, I was like, $30 for this game.
The big thing is like,
it's better than Left 4 Dead, and Left 4 Dead was $60.
I know I pay $15 a month, but I mean, I play these games. You get rewards points for playing these games on there. I have like 15,000. I've redeemed those. I got a free month, of the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I still pay $15 a month.
Free $15.
But I got a free,
month off, you couldn't sell me on that. It was just too much.
That's not the selling point. I mean, like like I said, it really benefits me because I play those games on my PC too, and you have separate libraries, bro. So on the PC, I'll have different games on there than I won't have on Xbox.
I do get it, but I'm just thinking about like the money aspect. You're paying like $170. I pay like $80. But you got the games. I do get it. Yeah, I do get it. But I just like, god damn, man.
I get my money's worth, bro. I play so many fucking
just thinking 10 months, $15.
The whole 15. I remember. So like,
it's 10 a month no matter what.
You can do whatever you want with them. But I mean, at one point, I redeemed them for $15 gift card. I used that to buy a game. I used that to buy Star Wars Battlefront. Which was cool.
How much is that Battlefront?
It was a little perk. It was on sale for
$15. Did you forget? Oh no, that was an old game. I thought you got a Squadron.
Star Wars Battlefront 2. Yeah. I mean, if I had 2 of those, I could get it real quick. Or if I could get that $15 thing I could get right now and just spend $15 on it. Really, just buy it real quick. So, but whatever.
More games to come, bro. This is a great comeback cast, man. I gotta get some fucking food in me, dog.
Yeah, I'm starving, man.
I love you all. Sorry, man. I had us in quarantine. We was quarantined down here for a couple weeks.
You didn't get the COVID though.
We'll be back soon. Still negative. I exposed myself for 21 days, 24 days, and I never got it. So some people are saying I'm immune. Love you all. Keep checking us out. Thank you. Shout out to Brandon. Shout out to Amy.
How much do cells go for on the black market?
Holla at y'all. Got antibodies.
You have a good night. We'll be back.
Thank you, baby.